Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. Good to see everybody out there. It's Sunday morning. It's beautiful here in Orlando. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are today. I see we got Sue, we got Norma, we got a whole bunch of people over here on TikTok joining in. Bigger Andrew, it is 75 in Missouri, but windy. This week it's going to, oh, wow, the high 80s. Really, holy cow. That is awesome. So how is it where y'all are? I hope you're all having a good day. If you're new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor, and we can help you take a cruise, do a land tour, luxury expedition, wherever you would like to go in the world. Leisha is saying it is 40 degrees in Pennsylvania. Okay, that is just a little bit chilly. Hey, Norma. Hey, John. Hey, Macrina. How's everybody doing out there? So for about the next hour or so, we're going to talk all things cruising. So I invite you to subscribe, to follow, to like, do all that good stuff so TikTok and YouTube know that you actually like what we're doing, because we really do enjoy doing this every Sunday morning with you all. Gosh, we've been doing this well over a year now, over 200 hours of these lives. So this is so awesome. So some interesting things to talk about in the world of cruising. Now, I do want to follow up on a TikTok and a YouTube short that I just did yesterday about the new Princess Dining. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you? Good morning, Eric. How are you? You are up very early. But yesterday I did an update on the new Princess changes. Princess is going to be completely changing their main dining room experience. Good morning, all. And thanks to a trial that they did on the Sun Princess, where they now offer traditional seating, 5 and 7:30. Then they offer one section where you can just make a reservation anytime you want. And then another one that's literally just walk up. So that's like anytime dining. So they've been doing this on the Sun Princess. It's been very successful. So they're going to roll it out to the rest of the fleet. But I neglected to say when it was coming to the rest of the fleet. Actually, I don't think we had the exact information yesterday. Now we have some more updated information from Princess. Their dining changes, the changes to the main dining room. So every main dining room across Princess is going to have traditional seating. You can make a reservation anytime you want, or you can just simply walk up. Those are going to be the three choices. That's going to start on voyages departing on September 14th of this year. So it's going to take them a while, to get that plan rolled out into all of the dining rooms. So starting on September 14th, 2024, that is when Princess is going to start offering the 3 seating options in their main dining room across the fleet. Now, one of the big caveats are, if you're on one of these voyages and you've already booked your dining, except on the Sun Princess.
For the main dining room, anyway.
Yeah, if you're on one of these voyages and you've already booked all your dining in the main dining room, you're going to have to rebook. So again, this is starting on, and I'll do a video on this, starting on September 14, 2024. That's when Princess will roll out these new reservation systems in the main dining room. And if you've already booked your reservations in the main dining room after September 14th, you will have to rebook. I will be doing a video.
And the rebooking starts June 17th, I believe.
New reservation starting on June 17th, which is kind of weird. It's a little confusing.
So you can start making your reservations for your voyages that happen September 14th and beyond, starting on June.
A little confusing, I know, but if you have questions about it, just reach out, and I will do a video follow-up to this as well. So let's see. We've got overcast and rainy in Northern California. Not fun at all. Good morning to the best TAs. Oh, thank you so much, Stacy. You're the best. Gary, you're still on the Emeralds. Yes. So Gary Q there on TikTok. One of our amazing clients, he had been on the Emerald Princess this week, sent us some amazing photos of the solar eclipse. The Emerald Princess and the Discovery Princess both parked themselves in totality on Monday, and they got a once-in-a-lifetime experience seeing the solar eclipse, not only in totality, but on a cruise ship.
Beautiful pictures.
Absolutely stunning pictures. I think you guys were about 15 miles off the coast of Mazatlan. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing the photos. If you are not in our private Facebook group, I encourage you to come join our private Facebook group. Gary posted the pictures in there. We have some other amazing pictures as well from clients going all over the globe. So it's Where's Walter Travel. We have a public page that you can like and follow. We encourage you to do that. And we have a private group. Actually, we're over 500 people in there now. So awesome. And I love to see the photos, and I love that we can have a two-way conversation rather than just this. Hit it hard. You are on Princess September 20. Oh, I just closed that out. There we go. You're on Princess 92924, so you will have to rebook. If you have dining reservations on Princess in the main dining room, this is only the main dining room. It has nothing to do with the specialty restaurant. So if you're booked in a
Or if
specialty
you're in
restaurant,
reserve or suite
then-
dining, that doesn't matter.
yeah. So this only has to do with the main dining room. So if you're just tuning in, Princess is updating their main dining room experience. They've had a very good pilot program on the Sun Princess. They now have traditional seating, 5 and 7:30. Or maybe it's 5:30 and 7, it's one or the other. Then they have one dining room that is that you can just make a reservation anytime you want. And then they have a third dining room that is only walk-ups. So all the rest of the ship may or may not have that many dining rooms on the ship, or
most
3
of them
stories.
do. Well, not 3 stories.
Yeah.
3
but-
separate dining rooms.
So they need to figure out like which dining room is going to be the best one for each of those. So that's why this the program's not going to roll out until September. And if you have main dining room reservation for any Princess ship sailing after 9/24, September 24th,
No,
you're going to have to make new
14th.
September 14th. Okay, September 14th.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a video on this for everybody because I'm confusing everybody. I'm confusing myself.
But yeah, it hit hard.
So-
Starting in June 17th, you will be able to remake dining reservations for the main
Exactly.
dining room.
All dining room reservations will be canceled as of June 17th, so you're going to have to rebook them. That's
Well,
all.
they're canceled as of now.
So,
for
they're
any-
canceled as of now?
I believe so. I
okay.
believe they've canceled. If you voyage starting September 14th and beyond, I
Gotcha.
believe they've all been canceled.
Gotcha. Kurt, good morning. Hey, he is asking if you use the Brightline Princess offer, can you still come in a day or two early? So the Princess offer has nothing to do with coming in on the day of, to my knowledge. I don't know exactly how they handle that, but yeah, you're right. So that is a train to, because they're going to transfer your luggage directly to the ship.
Yeah, the
So-
transfer part probably won't
So the
apply.
the transfer part would not apply because obviously you're not going to transfer directly to the ship. But there will probably still be some special offers. Princess is offering 15% off to everybody who takes the Brightline. But if you're going to do that Brightline Princess offer, obviously if you come in a day or two early, you can't take advantage of that transfer. I think that's really the only part you can't take advantage of. The program is so new, I don't know specifically the answer to that, but I'll ask over at Princess and make sure that you can still take advantage of that. I don't even know that it's shown up in our systems yet. I think we still have to call Princess to get that applied. So, but we'll find out. Bill, good morning. Benny, good morning. Betty, good morning. And Kurt, good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Kurt is coming with us on the Sun Princess. If anybody wants to come and meet the Sun Princess in person, we are going to be there. Rebecca's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Kurt's going to be there. Benny's going to be there. I think Betty's going to be there. So many of us are going to be
Stacy
there.
and Bill are going to be there.
Yes. Yeah, Chuck and I saw Chuck and Mary. Hi, Chuck and Mary. There's a whole bunch of us going to be on the Sun Princess. So if you want to come meet the Sun Princess in person, October 19th through the 26th, we're sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on an Eastern Caribbean cruise. We're going to Princess Keys, which is their private island. San Juan, I think San Juan is like a 14-hour stop. So we've got lots of time in San Juan. And then we're going to St. Thomas, and we've got 3 sea days to really explore the entire ship. So this is a great opportunity, especially like if you've never been on Princess, or you're curious about Princess, or you just want to come see the new ship. I mean, the new ship looks absolutely stunning, spectacular. So if you want to come join us, just reach out. where'swaltertravel.com. We are offering $100 onboard credit to everybody who booked with us to come on. We've got plus or minus 40 people right now. We got a big old group of folks, including a whole bunch of solo travelers. So if you're a solo traveler, this would be a good cruise to hop on as well. I hope you all come join us. It'll be so much fun. Good morning. Act normal. I love that. Chris, only 13 days until the Carnival Freedom, the newly remodeled Carnival Freedom with the straight stack again for the second time in 6 months. That's going to be so awesome. Betty saying that Jim wants a coffee tour in San Juan. So we were having a problem trying to line that up. I'm actually meeting. So next week, I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale for the entire week, meeting with all of our cruise partners, our travel partners, and I'm actually having dinner with Venture Ashore, which is our excursion partner. And we've been having trouble trying to line up that coffee tour because on the day that we're there, Many of the tours don't run. It's like the day of the week. It's the same thing that happened to us in Guadalupe. We wanted to go on the Death in Paradise tour, and they didn't happen the day we were there. So we're trying. I am looking into that. Certainly there are some food tours as well, but I will continue to look into that. I'm going to talk to Venture Ashore actually Wednesday night. We're having dinner, so we'll see what happens. Act Normal, I'm glad you woke up. Yay! Duhart, since the eclipse happened over the ocean, do any companies specifically have eclipse cruises? Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So Gary Q, who was just watching the show, he's on the Emerald Princess. That was a solar eclipse cruise, and the Discovery Princess as well. So the Discovery Princess was originally sold as a specific solar eclipse cruise, and that sold out very quickly. And then they realized that, hey, the Emerald Princess is doing a Panama Canal cruise. She's going to be in the same general area. So they changed her itinerary just a little bit and made her a solar eclipse cruise. So the Discovery and the Emerald were in the same general area, sitting right in totality. Cunard has already announced for 2026, 3 of their ships are doing solar eclipse cruises in 2026. The Queen Anne, the Queen Victoria, and the Queen Mary too, as part of a transatlantic. So Cunard has already announced 3 ships will be doing it. This is August of 2026. We're already booking now. We've got folks going on them. And actually, the Queen Mary 2 is a 14-day, so that is a little bit up there, but it's kind of cool because it's the westbound coming back to the U.S. for those of you who live here. But the Queen Anne, that's the newest one. Queen Victoria and Queen Mary 2 have already announced. I'm sure we're going to see more announcements of solar eclipse cruises because that is basically going to happen in the Mediterranean. So there will be lots of opportunities for the other cruise line to announce them. Not many people have 2026 already open. Cunard jumped the gun. They're already out there and they've got those announced. So yeah, you will see some more solar eclipse cruises come up. Absolutely. Bill W, 2 bottles of wine per cabin per stateroom on most lines. So what if my wife and I go to different security lines? I have to make sure we have enough alcohol for meetings with my friends. I believe it's per stateroom. So I don't.
Technically, yes. Although I have heard they don't always check that.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. And it has to be carry-on. You can't check it.
If they do happen to see that you have 4 bottles for 1 stateroom, there is the possibility that they could hold those 2 extra bottles until you get off.
Yeah. So
that's possible, but you may get it on, you may not.
And MSC, nothing at all. We had that discussion this week with a client. I was looking them up, and MSC doesn't allow anything on board, at least according to their FAQ.
I don't even think they allow nothing. Soda, beer,
water, nothing. So MSC allows nothing at all. And there was somebody else too.
Margaritaville at Sea. Actually.
Yeah, Margaritaville at Sea doesn't allow anything.
Although they're apparently changing up they haven't had an actual drink package before because they were only doing 2-day cruises. Right. And most people who do 2-day cruises don't offer drink packages. But with the longer ones coming, they are going to roll out a drink package. Yeah. If you have not seen, and if you want to talk about it, I would love to talk to you guys about it. The Margaritaville Islander is coming out in June. Wow, just a couple of months away. And she is going to start out with 4 and 5-night cruises. But starting next year, we will have 7-night cruises on Margaritaville. Now, I'm telling you, folks, if you guys have a group or, Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville, Caribbean, it just makes total sense. And Margaritaville has completely changed the company. They bought out the original owners who really honestly did not do a good job. They did not represent the brand well. Now Margaritaville at Sea, they sent in the Paradise for a refit after they took ownership, and the Islander is being completely renovated to Margaritaville resort standards. So I cannot wait to meet this ship. So, if you guys were kind of turned off on Margaritaville, as I was, based on all the early reviews and based on, what we were learning about the original ship, it is a whole new company now. And I'm truly excited to get onto one of the Margaritaville ships. Absolutely. Cindy, how are you? Bull Carriage, is Alaska on NCL worth it? Alaska's worth it on any cruise line. Are you kidding me? Alaska is amazing. So, one of the things that we always recommend is smaller ships. It's not necessarily the cruise line, and it depends on what you want to do. Like I literally just booked a father and son on the Norwegian Encore, which is a bigger ship than I would typically recommend for Alaska. But his son
really want, like he wants that laser tag. He wants the go-karts. He wants all. So, okay, great. So he wants all of that stuff. Dad just wants to sit on the balcony and enjoy the scenery. And then he wants to, he wants to do the helicopter tour. He wants to do the dog sled. So that's going to be the best of both worlds for the two of them. But typically we would lean into a smaller ship for Alaska. And we do tend to lean into Princess and Holland because they have the most trips into Glacier Bay. And they also have, in general, like more tours, and they have more partnerships with people up there. But NCL.
Although we did look at Princess this summer, and the pickings were very slim for balconies. I didn't. He only wanted balconies. I didn't look at insides.
Even
and
on
ocean
NCL,
views,
there really weren't a whole lot for him to choose from, unless he wanted to get into the Haven. So, yeah, I think anybody. It's worth it. Time for fun. Hey, Josie, I know. I can't wait for the Princess, Sun Princess either. It's going to be an absolutely amazing cruise. I'm telling you, folks, you all should come with us.
188 days.
Yeah, and, you brought up Alaska. If you want to go to Alaska in June of 2025 and you want to try something totally different, we're doing the Oceana Riviera. That's only 1,200 passengers. And it's essentially an all-inclusive cruise if you come with us, because Oceana already includes all the food, beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner, unlimited Wi-Fi, $600 of shore excursion credit on this cruise. So like the first $600 of your shore excursions is covered by Oceana. And the only thing they don't cover is the gratuities, and they don't cover the drink package upgrade if you want to have a drink anytime. Well, with the group, we're covering the gratuities and we're covering that drink package upgrades. That's like a $1,200 value, because it's a 12-night cruise, round trip Seattle, 8 ports. Oh my God. And most of the stops are 12 hours or longer, including Victoria, British Columbia. We're going to have a 12-hour stop there. So you can actually go enjoy the gardens. You can go have a lovely lunch or a dinner in Victoria.
I want to do afternoon tea.
I know. Rebecca wants to do afternoon tea.
There's a hotel. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a hotel that does a famous afternoon. So maybe go to the gardens and go to afternoon tea.
Right. So yeah. So we're going to Alaska on Oceana in June of 2025. If you guys are interested in joining us on the Sun Princess, you're interested in joining us in Alaska. If you're watching us on TikTok, there's actually links. If you click my logo, there's a link tree, and there's actually links that will take you to those group cruises. And of course, on YouTube.
Sorry, it's the Empress Hotel. That's the one in.
Oh, okay. And of course, if you're on YouTube, if you go down to the links in the description, that's where you'll find links to come to our group cruises. Or you can always just go to where'swaltertravel.com and go to group cruises. So John is saying that it would be amazing to get the coffee tour in San Juan, because Megan Bay in St. Thomas is the most beautiful beach you've ever seen. Yeah, I know. Do the coffee tour in San Juan on that Sun Princess cruise, and then in St. Thomas. We're actually kind of thinking about a food tour in San Juan. In St. Thomas. The same company that we've done in San Juan had one in St. Thomas. So we're kind of thinking about maybe doing that over there. Betty, $100 onboard credit for the Sun group. That's for the cabin. It's not per person. It is per stateroom. And it's the same thing on our Norwegian Aqua group cruise that's coming up in May too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Hey, Carol, thanks for watching the show. Really, really appreciate it. User 707. What is a good cruise line for a solo traveler? Boy, I tell you, if you didn't see my video that I just uploaded recently, that could be the fastest growing segment in the cruise industry. Cruise Line Industry Association, which is the trade group for cruise lines, released all their new stats from 2023. About almost 32 million people cruised in 2023. Of that, 10% were solo travelers. That's around 3 million solo travelers last year. I hope the cruise lines are paying attention to that, because that's a big segment of people. So right now, in terms of who has solo cabins that you don't necessarily have to pay, that 200% double occupancy rate, Norwegian, of course, is famous. They have the studio cabin. Plus, they rolled out 1,000 more solo cabins across the fleet. So you've got inside, ocean view, and balconies. Oceana has solo ocean view cabins. They are obstructed cabins, but they are solo. And I think they have solo concierge on their newest ship. I could swear I saw solo concierge.
Yeah, actually, the only ships that don't have solo are the Riviera and the Marina.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
But the other ones, the smaller ones and the newer ones do.
Sure. And then Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages has inside and ocean view cabins that are for solo. Surprisingly, Royal Caribbean has about 200, 225 solo cabins across the fleet. You just got to know where they are. Quantum Class, for example, has a lot. They have some that are like virtual balcony, but then they have like real honest to God balconies that are for solo travelers. Holland America has a few. Princess has a few. Princess is actually not a bad cruise line for solo travelers because they don't, it's rare for me to see that they're actually charging that full double occupancy for two people in a double or for one person in a double occupancy cabin. You know, it could be like 500 or 600 less than the two people rather than two people minus port fees and taxes. So Princess actually is not a bad one as well.
Hey, they have their first solo cabins too on the Sun Princess.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Yeah, and remember the Love Boat? How many solo travelers there used to be? You'd think they'd have a lot more. But
well, they also used to do that thing where they would match up solo travelers and put them in a room together.
Yeah.
The lawyers put an end to that one.
Yeah, definitely. Fenway Chris, any good hotel recommendation for the port in LA and Vancouver? LA and Vancouver. I can't think. Well, LA, I mean, obviously you have the Queen Mary or Queen. Is it Queen Mary? Is that what they call it? The hotel?
I can't remember now.
You know, the ship that's the
blanking.
Hotel. I just had 2 clients who are on the Emerald Princess. We put them up in there in Long Beach. I mean, come on, stay on a ship before you cruise.
And it's haunted.
And it's haunted. So, dude, stay at the Queen Mary. That's my suggestion in LA. In Vancouver, I can't think offhand. I mean, I know there's the Pan Pacific, which is the one literally right at the cruise pier. Vancouver is a cool town. You want to kind of stay in the meeting. You want to stay like in the areas in the areas like downtown area where you can just kind of walk around. So,
although Vancouver is not a cheap place for hotels, and that's largely because everything in Vancouver is expensive.
Yeah, everything in Vancouver is expensive, but we can find pockets. So I can't think of any offhand. I wish I could, but I can't think of them offhand. We actually have a whole list of Vancouver.
Actually, I'm not sure I started the Vancouver one yet.
I have because we've been doing more and more. But if you reach out, Chris, we can certainly help you find a hotel. We can book the hotel for you as well. I'm sorry. And Macrina said the Queen Mary is a fantastic experience. I know Steve had a good time. They were there right before the Emerald Princess cruise. So that's where if you're going to LA, stay in a haunted cruise ship. So, and Carol, thank you so much for following us. Cheryl, 1998, tomorrow is check-in day for Alaska on Norwegian. Yay! Hey, Joe, how you doing? Act normal. That's good to hear about Margaritaville. Hope it's a super positive improvement because of 7-day. So yeah, so when Margaritaville first came out, I mean, I was one of the people like, I'm not sending anybody on that cruise line because it's terrible. And what happened was Margaritaville, the company, trusted
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line,
which owned the ship, to live up to the Margaritaville standards. They basically said, yes, we're going to do a partnership. You can use our name. And honestly, if you stay at a lot of these hotels, Hilton, Marriott, all of this, Hilton doesn't own the hotel. It's some company that's franchising the name. They're licensing the name Hilton, and they promise to live up to the Hilton standards. Well, that's what Margaritaville, the company, expected Bahamas Paradise to do. They didn't. They just basically, for lack of a better term, they put lipstick on a pig and said, hey, it's Margaritaville at sea. It wasn't. And Margaritaville saw what was happening. They saw all the feedback. They were horrified by all the feedback. So they literally bought out. They bought out Bahamas Paradise. Pretty much everybody was fired. And they have brought in actual cruise line people to now run the company. In fact, I believe the CEO is a former celebrity executive. They've got people from Holland, from Princess, from a lot of other cruise lines over there. The new ship, the standards are so rigid for the new ship. I was told that there's like TVs on there that were just replaced like a year ago by Costa, and they all have to come out because they don't meet the brand standard. So, I mean, they're being very strict on the new ship. The new ship should be just like stepping into a Margaritaville resort. So I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy that they took this stance. So Hey, Emily, how are you? I hope you're doing. Oh, you've been ill over there. She just one of the things that I absolutely love about the show. Emily is one of our clients. She's over in London. We're going to be meeting you in about a month and a half in June.
59 days.
Yeah, well, she's coming to Disney first, so we might meet you in the park. She asked us if we would come meet in the park, and then depending on what's going on. And if Rebecca doesn't melt. But I'm sorry you've been ill for a month. Oh, I'm glad you're getting better. Everybody send positive vibes over to London to Emily.
And two little TikTok notes of order.
Oh, yeah.
If you are trying to ask questions about Virgin Voyages, can't use the word Virgin, TikTok blocks it. And you don't have to ask questions multiple times. He'll get to you eventually.
I will. I like to answer everybody's questions. So if you can just be a little bit patient if you're asking questions and I haven't answered them yet. That's one of the reasons. If you're new to the channel, that voice you just heard is my lovely wife Rebecca, who's sitting right off camera. She's also a moderator on this thing, and she keeps me in line. If I miss a question, she'll make sure I come back to that question. But I like to talk, and I like to try to give you guys as much information as possible when I do answer the question. So I apologize if it's taking me a while to get there. Richie D, how you doing? Oh, that's great. My virtual reality and the Silver Librarian gave you the Empress Hotel in Victoria. So I
knew it. I just was, blanking.
Yeah.
Definitely want to do that.
Ocean loves the solo cruises. That is awesome. Or her. Ocean, I can't remember. Super Nurse 909. Well, you're the person I want working on me when I come to the hospital. That's for sure. Is the Key package worth the money on the Royal Caribbean Ovation of the Seas? Well, that's a great question, actually. And it's not just the Ovation of the Seas. If you don't know, the Key program is it's a limited availability. So it is capacity controlled. But any passenger on a Royal Caribbean ship, except Guarantee, I don't know if Guarantees can do it.
I'm not sure.
But if you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise, they have a package called The Key. One of the big things it does gives you priority embarkation. That's lovely. Instead of going to the Windjammer, you get the chopped grill lunch in the main dining room. You can drop off your carry-on luggage. I think that's probably the biggest thing other than priority boarding. You can actually drop off, like whatever you're bringing on the ship with you, you can drop it off with somebody, then they'll take it up to your room for you when your room is ready. You get Wi-Fi and a few other perks, such as like when we did it on Symphony of the Seas, we had like 1 hour reserve time at the Flow Rider, 1 hour reserve time at the ice skating rink. So there are some kind of cool perks with it. So what Rebecca's rule of thumb is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Rebecca keeps an eye on the price of the Key and the price of the Wi-Fi, because if they start to get close, then she buys it. But if they stay far apart, and Royal Caribbean does that game of literally like every morning you check in, the price is different, right? So you're constantly checking the price of that. So if it's worth it if it's close to Wi-Fi, then we do think it's worth it. Now on the Symphony of the Seas, I will say I would skip that chopped grill lunch in the main dining room, because they can't make a chopped grill lunch in the main dining room. It was okay. The best part about it was
nice. It was a sit down. It was quiet. It was relaxing. That was nice.
Yeah, that part of it was great.
Mediocre.
Yeah, the food was mediocre. So on like an Oasis class ship, I would probably go to the Solarium Bistro, or I would go down to the Park Cafe for that lunch instead. Drop off the bags, which was actually at the main dining room. So drop off the bags and then go elsewhere to eat. But the Key is lovely. I mean, getting on the ship early is lovely. We had the Wi-Fi included. So if it's close to the Wi-Fi price, then I would say, and it works within your budget, yeah, I'd say go for it. Yeah. So.
I mean, if you were going to buy Wi-Fi anyway.
Gotcha.
If you're not going to buy Wi-Fi, then it probably isn't worth it.
So Betty Sims, I know another one of our other clients uses the same tool. So Betty over on YouTube is saying Cruise Plum is a great search-only engine to find solo cruises and trips. Then she says, and then contact us to book. So I actually have another solo cruiser who uses Cruise Plum to find the cruises. And then she'll ping me and she'll say, hey, Walt, I just saw this deal. Go ahead and grab it for me. And then I do, and I grab it and get her on. So yeah, thank you, Betty, for reminding me about that. So Cruise Plum is a great search engine for solo. And then you can just reach out to us, whether it's a land tour, an expedition, or a cruise. We can jump right on it. So that is awesome. And by the way, Aaron, if I didn't say good morning yet, good morning. MC, what do I think about the Sun Princess? Oh my God. Have I heard anything about it? Oh my God.
We'll be the first to admit there was a rough start.
Yeah,
but it is improving.
So yeah, so when they first launched the Sun Princess, if you were not aware, most of the entertainment, in fact, I don't think any of the entertainment was running yet.
Nothing in the main theater.
Nothing in the main theater was.
There was
running.
some like musicians and things in the atrium, but that was about it.
But none of the main, like, they said, hey, we're going to have these amazing shows in the arena. Nope. I think they had like some like magicians or solo acts in there, but like nothing like they promised.
But that wasn't even the very first cruise. That wasn't until like the second or third.
Yeah, and then the dome on the top where they're supposed to have like a Cirque du Soleil sort of kind of style shows at night. That wasn't happening. In fact, I don't even know if those are happening yet.
I have heard from somebody who said they're coming. I think they're going on a cruise next week, maybe, and they're currently on the cruise, and they're gonna get to see a rehearsal version, which means that they're probably close to being able to do the full show. Yeah,
which is fun. That's a lot of fun. That's what we saw on Icon of the Seas. We saw them rehearsing the Aqua show, which was actually really cool. But overall, the reviews have been incredibly positive. The ship is gorgeous. The rooms are lovely. There has been some discussion about the sphere balconies, that big sphere on the side, because it's kind of like a long tunnel. It's such a long, deep balcony. It's almost like they should have made the rooms stick out into the sphere just a little bit more, made the balconies maybe a little bit less so.
And
so it's kind of a tunnel.
At least for some of those cabins too, they're hearing some noise from the atrium.
Yeah, they are hearing a little
at least
bit
the
of
ones
bleed.
lower down. I don't know about how high up.
Yeah, so they're hearing a little bleed from the atrium, so that can happen. But overall, the reviews that I've seen about the food, about the ship, have been very, very positive. And that Dario sounds like it's crazy. So we are going on the Sun Princess. If you want to come join us, just go to, there's a link. You're watching me on TikTok. There's a link. If you click my logo, there'll be a link to take you right to the Sun Princess. We're sailing October 19th through the 26th out of Fort Lauderdale, and we're offering $100 of onboard credit for booking with us. We've got plus or minus 40 people, so it's a great way to go. We are doing a cove balcony. I have always wanted to do, ever since I discovered them like 2 years ago, I have wanted to do a cove balcony. So our balcony is going to be below the lifeboats. We're going to be right down there by the water line. It's going to be amazing. Silver Librarian, unfortunately, you always have to pay double on Princess. Well, most of our clients that we have booked on Princess that have been solo have not been the full 200%. It has been, like I said, it's been anywhere from like 500 to 800 less than it would have been had it been that full double. So you just kind of got to look around.
Not paying for one person, but not paying for two either.
Yeah, not quite that entire double. Not as bad as say like Celebrity and Royal Caribbean have been, and even Norwegian. Celeste, the Carnival Venezia was a wonderful experience. Oh, great. It's great to get feedback on the Carnival Venezia now sailing out of New York, coming down to Florida.
I know you want to try one of those Costa ships that's now Carnival.
Absolutely. She's coming down to Port Canaveral for the winter season, so hopefully we'll be able to hop on her. 11 days, 5 ports, sailing past the Statue of Liberty. Now, how many of you watching it have done that New York Sail Away? We have not done it yet. I desperately want to do that. My nephew is getting married in Connecticut. I've already told Rebecca we're taking advantage of that. We're going to book a cruise out of New York since we're going up there for the wedding. It's like, yeah, we'll stop by the wedding for a couple hours. Sorry, you got to go, got to catch a cruise. No, we're not going to be those. We'll stay for the entire wedding. But oh my gosh, somebody who was born and raised in the Hudson Valley up in the New York area, I would love to do that sail away. It looked absolutely spectacular. And my grandfather came over. He sailed into Ellis Island. In fact, all my grandparents sailed into Ellis Island. So that would be amazing. Act Normal, you've taken 4 solo cruises. You're going to be on the 5th next month, Carnival Panorama. Carnival is great because it's very social. That is very true. And the thing of it is too, a lot of the ships are, you can go on Celebrity, Princess, Holland, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean. And what I encourage people to do, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just hang out at the bars and the lounges. Just get involved with activities too. Trivia, games, stupid little classes that are free, but especially like trivia in the game, because, a lot of times solo, hey, anybody need an extra person? And that's how you get to meet a lot of people. So yeah, Carnival is great. It is the fun ship, but really you can meet people on just about any cruise, and especially if you partake in those activities, for sure. And I'll remind everybody, if you're just tuning in, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. We book cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. You don't pay a dime for our services. And so why wouldn't you work with us? And so far, we have a lot of satisfied clients. We're very, very proud of that. So yeah, we can help you with as much or as little as you like. Where'swaltertravel.com is the website. If you're watching us on TikTok, you click my logo, you'll find a link tree with all the contact links in there. And if you're watching on YouTube, just go down to the description. You'll find the links down there. We're also setting up an accessory store. We have an Amazon affiliate, and then we also have our own spring shirt store where like I'm wearing the shirt now. So yeah, so we're setting that store up now. It's there. It's not working quite right, so I'm fixing it today. But yeah, definitely check out the website. Chaz, you leave Monday on Celebrity Beyond. Ooh, man, Captain Kate's ship. That ship looks stonking amazing. We saw her in St. Thomas when we were on, not Captain Kate, we saw the ship when we were in St. Thomas. We were on the Symphony of the Seas, and that Beyond just came. I mean, she just came in like the beautiful lady she is. She just slid right in next to us, and I was like, "Oh my God!" You don't appreciate how beautiful that ship is until you see it right there. And we had a beautiful view because we had a nice junior suite about halfway up, looking straight at it. Oh my God, what a beautiful ship! You're going to have an amazing time. Yes, I'm a little jealous. Yay. Colonel Dave Dixon, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're doing the Jewel October 1. Nice. That is going to be exciting. Oh, to Alaska.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be nice. Jewel of the Seas. That is going to be a great ship. I assume it's or is it the Norwegian Jewel? There's two Jewels. I don't know which one.
It's very confusing sometimes.
Yeah, it does get confusing. So Norwegian has a Jewel.
Carnival Freedom, and then the Freedom of the Seas.
Disney Freedom.
No, Disney.
Carnival.
Freedom of the Seas.
Freedom of the Seas. Magic.
There's a lot of
Carnival Magic.
Yeah.
And Disney Magic. That's what I'm thinking. So that's awesome.
There's a lot of them like that.
Yeah, Mariah. What? Oh, this comes up. I should be wearing that shirt. What's your favorite cruise line and why? So, honest to goodness, we have been on a 10 cruise lines so far. Hopefully, it'll be 11 or 12 soon. Don't have a favorite. I literally don't, because they all offer different experiences. You know, some are amazing with food. Some are amazing with entertainment. Some are amazing with like everything to do on the ship. Some are great for just chilling and doing absolutely nothing at all. So we pick our cruise lines and our cruise ships for us based on the vacation that we want to have. So like over the Christmas holidays, we worked really hard last year building this business. I mean, we're still working hard, but we worked like ridiculously hard last year launching our business for the first 14 months. So we treated ourselves. We wanted to just chill. We wanted to relax. We wanted to eat really, really good. And we chose the Oceana Serena. Only 650 passengers. It's like going on the original Love Boat. Not much to do on that ship. You know, there's a little bit of entertainment at night, but what it forces you to do, it forces you to get to know all the other passengers. And we met so many lovely people on that ship, including the crew, you know, including the cruise director, staff, and everybody. And then we were on the Icon of the Seas in January. Holy crap, that was so much fun. Now one of my favorite ships. I was not expecting it. I was not expecting to like that ship. I thought it was just going to be insane. What a stunning ship. So until we don't have a favorite cruise line at all. We enjoy them all. Like we've had some cruises that we don't like, that we didn't enjoy as much, but we'll still go back on them. I mean, there's not a single cruise line that we won't go back on. There's not a single ship that we've been on that we won't go back on yet. We just pick and choose based on what kind of experience we want. And that's also how we pick the cruises for our clients. We don't ever pick cruise lines for our clients. We pick cruise ships. And, you know, based on the cruise ship that are available, you know, because you're going to want to go somewhere, you're going to want to go to a specific location, you want to sail out of a specific location, and you want to go at a certain time of year. So based on those three things, there's going to be a limited inventory of ships that we can choose from. Even though there's like 375 cruise ships out there, there might only be 5 that are available at that specific window from that specific place that you want to sail on. So we're always looking at the individual ship, because even within the same cruise line, the different ships offer different experiences. The Vision of the Seas is going to be quite a bit different than the Icon of the Seas. I mean, you can put 2 Visions inside the Icon, for crying out loud. So that is a very honest answer. I don't have a favorite cruise line. If you were buying me a cruise tomorrow, I'll go on the Celebrity Beyond. Sure, you can send me on the Celebrity Beyond. You can send me on Virgin.
That would be an interesting mathematical thing. How many Visions fit inside an Icon?
I know. How many Visions? If somebody can do that math, well, you can figure the gross tons. of the thing. So it's like 250. But anyway, but yeah, I really don't. You know, if somebody tells you this is the best cruise line and that's the one you should go on, it's because they like it and they want you to like it too. So we take it with a grain of salt. I encourage people to get out there and explore, try different cruise lines. You know, if you want to be loyal to a cruise line because you want all those perks and points, look at what you're actually getting. And then how much it would cost you just to buy those perks on a cruise versus how many cruises do you have to take to get there? Like if it costs you $100,000 to get free Wi-Fi, that's a lot of money that you spend to get free Wi-Fi. I'd rather pay for the Wi-Fi on all my various cruises than spend $100,000 to get myself to that point. But that's just me. So, hey, Larry, how are you? Well, he's saying that over on YouTube, he's saying that now that we've been on the Edge class and Solstice class, would we still go on the Silhouette? So, Larry, we have not been on the Edge yet. That is coming up soon, hopefully. But yes,
a slight delay in our
we didn't
cruising.
expect to have to suddenly up and rent another house when our lease got canceled. So things are a little up in the air. But yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter if I go sail on the Celebrity Beyond. I'm going back on the Reflection, the Silhouette, the Solstice. Yeah, I'm going back on all of those because they are beautiful ships. Absolutely. One thing Celebrity does, they build stunning ships. And yes, the Edge class is a full-on resort, but the other ships are gorgeous as well. So yeah, absolutely. Colonel Dave Dixon. Oh, got you already. Chaz, do I know if Azamara Cruise Line is decent? You like the destination? I'll tell you what, Azamara has some of the best itineraries. They really do. They have some very unique and different itineraries. And what's kind of interesting about them, you know, I talked about the Oceana Serena just a little while ago. So Oceana has 4 ships, and Azamara has 4 ships that are all sisters. They were all built by Renaissance cruise lines that went under. And Oceana bought 4 of the ship, then Azamara bought 4 of the ship.
Well, although they have all been renovated differently.
Oh, yeah, they've all been renovated differently. Yes, Azamara, and in fact, there was one client who wanted an Italy-based cruise, and my God, they had like 15 stops in Italy. What's really nice about those ships is they are smaller, just like the Serena, so they can stop in a lot of ports that the big ones can't. So yeah, Azamara is really nice. Now, they don't offer quite as many inclusions as Oceana. So we kind of lean into Oceana a little bit more because I think you get a little bit more for your dollar. But yes, Azamara is a great cruise line.
If I'm cruising Azamara, I'm definitely doing it for the itinerary because those itineraries, if there's one that fits with what you want to do, and they do a lot of what they call intensive. So there's Italy intensive, Greece intensive, you know, Spain. I don't know if there's Spain, but they do like really concentrate on one particular country or area.
Yeah. And one of the things that Azamara and Oceana does very, very well is they do a lot of almost one-offs, right? So if you want to take this cruise, it's only one time. We're going to have other cruises that are similar, but this exact itinerary won't be repeated in 2024. Yeah. And then even in 2025, that itinerary may not be repeated. So the thing about Azamara, the thing about Oceana, the thing about some of these smaller cruise lines, if you see an itinerary that you really want to take, don't assume it's going to be there next year because it probably will not. There probably be a similar, but not identical. So yeah, absolutely. So it's great. Colonel Dave Dixon, are you guys going on the World America on the naming cruise 4-9? You're on the 4-12 sailing. Funny you should ask. I do have a request in with our representative. In fact, I'm having lunch with him this coming week. So this coming week, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale. It's the Cruise 360 convention, so I'm really excited. We get to hang out with all of our cruise partners. I have made a request to go on that one. As you can imagine, that's going to be a hot ticket. We missed the Icon by 1 sailing. If we'd have been on the next sailing, we would have been on there with Lionel Messi. But I've made a request, so you will certainly know. Thank you, Ocean, for the comment. Really appreciate it. Richie D, you headed out on the Mardi Gras. First time on a big boat. Super excited. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a great time. The biggest warning I can give you is Shack Chicken is addictive. I think Shack Chicken is the best chicken sandwich out there. And I didn't grow up. I lived in Atlanta for 27 years. I had Chick-fil-A. I will take Shaq's Chicken over Chick-fil-A every time, but don't have the egg sandwich in the morning. Something weird about those eggs. They're not right.
The chicken biscuits probably. Well, the biscuits aren't actually really that good either. The biscuits are a little dry.
Amazing.
But you can take the chicken off the biscuit.
Yeah. So so that's really good. The pizza is surprisingly good on there, and the Serenity area up there. Serenity, what do they call it? Yeah, Serenity, the adults only area up on the top in the front. Awesome. 21 and over only. You have your own bar, your own pool, and they have a salad bar that they set up for lunch. You're going to have a great time on the Mardi Gras. It's great. Joanne, how are you? You can't wait to book your next cruise. I can't wait to book your next cruise. Come on, let's get talking. Terry Mobley, I think you get priority tender boarding as well. That would be for the key.
Yeah. We didn't have any tender ports, so I can't remember, but I think you're right.
I think so.
On our cruise where we had it, we didn't have any tender ports.
Yeah.
But I believe you're correct.
I think so. You're welcome, Richie D. Thank you for the compliment on the content. We try. Super Nurse 909. Do both people in the cabin have to purchase the key? I believe so. Yeah. So because it wouldn't make sense for just one person to purchase it because it's for the stateroom. So yeah, you do have to do that.
So that may not make the math work out in your favor either. But you just kind of have to figure what you would be paying.
Right.
For both of you versus what it's going to cost for both of you to buy the key.
Yeah. Joanna had a great time on Celebrity Cruise. You had lots of interaction, made some good friends. That is the best part about cruising, people. Number one, the crew. That's the reason why we keep coming back. The ships are gorgeous, but it's the crew that makes us keep coming back. I mean, you feel like family the moment you walk on. Somehow they know your name after they met you the first time. They're going to know your name the rest of the week. It's like, how did they do that? I don't know. I know how to do it on Princess. But then meeting people is my favorite thing. And that I will say that Oceania 12 night, just 650 people. We met more people on that cruise than we have in a very long time because, you kind of forced to, right? You're in small venues.
We did have a few dinners where we ate with other people too, which was they had that option. So
that was really nice. Yeah. Rick has 13 more days till he gets on the Celebrity Beyond. Yay, that's going to be awesome. Hey, Janet, I see your question there. Just ping me on email. I can help you out with that. Janet is asking, well, actually, I'll pop that up there. So Janet is asking, she needs a wheelchair in port, and she needs a shower stool in her Virgin Voyages shower. Now, that is going to be really tight if you're in a standard shower. I can't remember what room you're in, Joanne, but the standard showers in Virgin, that's going to be super tight for a shower stool. But we can ask, and I can make a special needs request. So that's how it works with all cruise lines. If you need a wheelchair assistant at the terminal, getting onto the ship or getting off of the ship, we need to make a special needs request with the cruise line. And you want to try to do that at least a month before the cruise so that they've got the wheelchair waiting. If you show up at the terminal, they're not going to turn you away and say, nope, they'll go get a wheelchair. It just might take a little while. But generally, with any cruise line, if anybody in your party needs assistance with a wheelchair, let your travel advisor know quickly, early. So then we will either file some paperwork or we make a phone call to the cruise line and we'll get that wheelchair set up. So Janet, just reach out to me, email me. Because I'll forget. So just go ahead and reach out to me and I'll gladly take care of it for you. And I'll remind you folks that lovely voice you keep hearing off camera is my wife, Rebecca. She is my partner in Where's Walter Travel. We are your independent travel advisor. Our services are 100% free to you. And we service cruise, land, luxury, and expedition. We can even book a private jet for you. You know what we've been booking a lot of lately is private transfers. In fact, we just had a client last minute. Their transfer got canceled in Portugal, of all places. And in 10 minutes, I had a private car all lined up for her. She landed yesterday. She said he was waiting for her right there at baggage claim. So that's been a big thing lately, too. I know Uber Lyft is really big with a lot of people, but more and more folks are starting to ask us, hey, can you just get us a private transfer? And
particularly overseas where you may have a language issue.
Or a larger group, too. So. Big Papa Pump, how are you, man? Good to see you. 35 days from Virgin Voyages, Irresistible Med. Love it. What's with the new no reservation policy for shows? Virgin Voyages. You know what I think happened a lot is a lot of people make these reservations and they don't show up. And that's true of everything that's free on Virgin Voyages. The 80s dance workout, the dance show, like a lot of the stuff that's free on Virgin Voyages, they've had a problem with people making reservations, not showing up. They are charging a no-show fee now. Like if you book the 80s workout and you don't show up, you're actually going to get a charge on your bill. I think it just makes it easier.
From what I understand, it's actually working very well.
Yeah.
And I hear a rumor that there is a separate line for rock stars.
Probably. That would not surprise me.
But apparently it's working out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it makes total sense because of the way the seating is there. But it would not surprise me if rock stars have a separate line. So yeah, I think it's a good idea, to be honest with you. Valiant Lady and Princess are there in San Juan right now. Oh, I'll tell you what, that Valiant Lady, what a beautiful ship. We're going to be back on her in June. We've got, I don't know, we got 130, 140 people coming on the inaugural Ben. I am so happy. We are the travel agent for the inaugural cruise with Ben and David. Our cruise on Virgin Voyages. We're going to be on the Valiant Lady. I'm so happy. I'm just going to be there to service the cruise itself. If anybody needs anything from Virgin Voyages, I'll be there to take care of that. But Ben and David are taking all the activities. So I'm just going to be there just to kind of help out, but it's going to be amazing. Opinion on Voyager of the Seas. Love it. Love it. So we have not sailed Voyager, but we have sailed Mariner, and she is in the same class. I love that class of ship. Next to Icon of the Seas, Mariner is my favorite Royal Caribbean ship. So there you go. Somebody's like, what's your favorite ship? So my favorite Royal Caribbean ship would be Mariner of the Seas and Icon. Of course, I love Symphony too, but Mariner is just a great ship. That Voyager class is a great ship. That was the first mega ship, which is kind of funny, when you see them now. But that was the first mega ship. That's the first one that had the promenade, first one that had the ice skating rink, and the first one that had the flow rider up on the top. So she's considered the first. That's the ship that set the stage for what the Royal Caribbean became. I think they're a fabulous ship. I can't remember if Voyager has the bamboo bar, if they've added that to that one yet. But it is just a great size. It's not too big, not too small. It's a great ship to really. There's something for everybody on that ship. So yeah, I would definitely go. On that one for sure. Alec, are there any shuttle companies that go JFK to Brooklyn or vice versa? I'm sure there are. I don't know them offhand, but I'm sure there are. If you were to search Brooklyn Cruise Port Shuttle, you're probably going to find them. Like GoPort, I think, is one of the shuttle companies. GoPort, like GOPORT. That's definitely a shuttle company. I don't know offhand, but I'm sure there are. If you want to reach out to me offline, I'd be more than happy to take a look for you. Absolutely. Thank you for the question. That's awesome. MCAP, what's your favorite destination? Oh, okay, that one we can answer, like top 5.
Well, with the caveat that there's so many places we want to go that we have not been to yet.
Like we were supposed to do a big Mediterranean cruise back in 2010, and idiot me, I built a brand new media production studio. That was dumb. So far, where we've been to, some of my favorites: San Juan, St. Thomas, Puerto Plata. Actually, we had a great time over there. But San Juan, I love San Juan because you can get off the ship and you can just walk. It's a great walking town. Now you got to be careful because the streets and the sidewalks are, not the best. So you got to be very careful. If it's definitely not a great scooter town. If you're going to try and ride a scooter,
a lot of cobblestones, a lot of uneven pavement.
And a street to do this. So, but for me, I love it as a walking town. There's so many interesting things to see, so many great little shops, amazing coffee for sure. Great walking food tour. Flavors of San Juan is amazing. St. Thomas, I just love it. It's just a beautiful island. St. Martin, beautiful island. Although the thing I don't like about St. Martin is of late, they've really overdeveloped that beach that's right there by when you come off the water shuttle. There's so many umbrellas, you can't even see the beach anymore. So that's gotten a little bit much. And in terms of, let's say, private islands, I like the MSC's Ocean Key. That's my favorite actual island of a cruise line. And then my favorite cruise line resort would be the Bimini Beach Club with Virgin Voyages. I love those. We need to get to Italy. We need to get to Greece. We've not been to those places yet. Those are the two that I really want to get to. My family's from Italy. That's where I really, really want to get over to. I understand there's actually a Biscardi deli somewhere in South Italy. That is my last name, so I want to go find that deli and see if it's there. And it is some of my family at some point. So, yeah. Oh, Celeste on that Brooklyn shuttle, New York transportation. They might want to try Carmel transportation. Very good and reliable. Well, thank you, Celeste. That's why I love this community. You all are helping out. So Celeste says if you're trying to get around New York, get from the airport to the cruise port, Carmel, Carmel, Carmel transportation. Thank you for that, Celeste. That is awesome. Rust Bus Mom, maybe? Oh, gosh. Walter gave us great options with different cruise lines to fit us. Everyone likes different things. Thank you so much. So that's what we try to do. We try to give you, anytime a client comes to us and we do this, we do an intake call, then we generally will present you anywhere from 3 to 4 cruises. In some cases, we presented more just because of the situation, but we try to present you 3 to 4 and we walk you through it. The one thing we do not do, especially if you're a new client, we don't just send you a proposal and go, here you go, we'll talk to you later. No, we get on a follow-up call. So we can actually walk you through and talk about the differences in the ships and the itineraries and everything today. You're not just looking at a bunch of information. We're trying to, and then we can answer some questions as well.
And I will say too, that what people want can vary from one vacation to the next. Mm-hmm. You might be going with your kids on one vacation, so you want a different kind of cruise. You might be going by yourselves as 2 adults on another vacation, so you might want something completely different that time.
Just make sure the kids are taken care of. Don't do what that mom just did. Wow, that was horrible. It's me. What have we heard about the new Sun Princess? We actually talked about that for a little while, a little bit earlier. All good. She had to start by launching without all of her entertainment ready. I don't think she should have launched that early, but they did. But now the entertainment is starting to come online, but I've heard great reviews about the food. We've heard good reviews about the main dining room. In fact, now they're rolling that main dining room experience out to the rest of the fleet. And the ship itself is gorgeous. We have a group cruise. If you want to come with us, we're sailing in October. There are plus or minus 40 of us going on the Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th. You're watching us on TikTok. If you click my logo, there's actually a link in there to go directly to that group cruise, or you can go to where'swaltertravel.com. There is a group cruise tab. You'll see we've got the Norwegian Aqua, we've got the Oceania Riviera going up to Alaska, and we've got the Sun Princess. Those are the 3 group cruises that we're booking right now.
And so, now that we've gotten settled in, we'll try and think of some other group cruises to do.
Yeah, we're actually already talking about. In fact, we were kind of having a discussion this morning. Somebody asked about solar eclipse. I was like, maybe we should go on one of those Cunard solar eclipse cruises in 2026 with a group. That would be fun, right? So, no, somebody said 2 visions are about 80% of the icon of the seas. That's hilarious. Oh, there's a great question. That's one I think you're the first person, Greg Bland 917. I don't think anybody has asked us about Sea Dream. The Sea Dream Yacht Club. Oh my goodness gracious. They are phenomenal. If you are looking for a totally different experience, right? This is a very small ship. What is it, 100 people? 150 people? I'm trying to remember how many actually go on these things. But the coolest thing about them, and we saw this in St. Bart's. We were on the Oceania Serena in St. Bart's, and a Sea Dream was sitting there. They have an inflatable water slide that goes right, literally off the ship into the ocean. Just like that joke, that April Fool's joke that Royal Caribbean did with the slide off the Odyssey of the Seas. Well, Sea Dream really does that. And Sea Dream has a whole marina that comes off the back of the ship where they've got I think they got jet skis and other things, the kayak and whatnot that you can use. The Sea Dream is absolutely, I met them for the first time last year at this convention I'm going to in Fort Lauderdale. And I was like, oh my goodness, look at this. So it's a very small ship, very intimate experience. You get to go to a lot of places that you really don't go to on a lot of the other cruise lines won't touch some of the destinations and some of the itineraries that they do because it's, Sea Dream Yacht Club is, I think, for people who have maybe done other things and they're like, I really want something different. I want to go to some different places. I want to do kind of like Windstar. Windstar is, I would put kind of like Sea Dream Yacht Club and Windstar together just in that sense. Very small, very intimate, great food, different kinds of experiences. I think Sea Dream Yacht Club it's a pretty laid back thing. So yeah, if you want to talk about Sea Dream, oh my God, their ships are so fun. So yeah, I think they're fabulous. DW worked on Renaissance. Really? That is awesome. Hit it hard. You usually go Princess, especially since they go out of San Francisco. That's true. They're one of the few cruise lines that sail out of San Francisco for parts of the year. And that is kind of a neat. So Holland America will do San Diego for parts of the year. Princess will do San Francisco. And of course, Los Angeles is in play all year long for Carnival and Royal Caribbean, but then Princess, Celebrity, Norwegian, maybe somebody else will come sliding into LA. And maybe next year, maybe Virgin Voyages will be coming over there next year. We had the latest grid from Virgin Voyages of like the next year, and Brilliant Lady says coming soon, and she's in quarter Q4 of 2025. So maybe,
although it does not say specifically what she's going to be doing. It's just a big red box. Just a big red box. It's coming soon in quarter 4. So maybe when they announce their next round of itineraries, maybe the Brilliant Lady will be included in those announcements. We're hoping. So, MC, you're flying in on Friday to Orlando. Any recommendations? Is there another part to that? Any recommendations? I mean, just to hang out. So we have the world's largest McDonald's. We actually do. It's kind of sad, but it's actually kind of cool. Apparently they have things that other McDonald's don't.
So if you're a fan of Disney and you want to get your Disney fix without paying, $500 to get into the parks, go to Disney Springs. Disney Springs is 100% free to get there. It's free to park. And then they have the world's largest Disney store in there. They've got food and drink and all of that. If you're looking for something kind of different to do, Discovery Cove is actually pretty cool. It's part of, it's owned by SeaWorld. And it's almost like going on a cruise ship excursion. It's all inclusive. You can swim with the dolphins. You can do a lazy river. You can do other things. It's like a beach day with a water, with like a natural water park kind of thing. That's actually kind of cool.
And there's Icon Park.
Yeah,
where they have some like the big Ferris wheel. There's restaurants. And
Gordon Ramsay has a restaurant in there. So like if you want the touristy kind of thing to do, Icon Park is what it's called. It's got that massive Ferris wheel on it. And actually SeaWorld, like if you're a roller coaster fan and you just want to get your roller coasters on, SeaWorld is like a really good value for one day to go in. They've got 8 or 9 roller coasters now. So it's a really good roller coaster park. Yeah. Joe, think about a Panama Canal cruise. I'll tell you, if folks are thinking about a Panama Canal cruise, I would do it sooner than later. If you haven't been keeping up with the news, they're having some water issues with the Panama Canal. So they're restricting cruise ships from going through, and we're not sure if the water issues are going to be solved. So I would definitely be looking, at Panama Canal sooner than later. Certainly 2025. I don't know if I'd look at it in 2026, but definitely in 2025. Hit one hard. You have to talk to us about your 2025 crew. Please do. And I had totally forgotten your name. I did know your name for a while. Oh, that's right. Okay, now I know who you are. Yay. Lisa, you're going on a Carnival Conquest soon. What do I know about happy hour on Carnival cruises? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. I mean, they're probably the same as most of the cruise lines. They're going to have usually it's a selection of drinks that are going to be a special price for that hour or whatever it is. It's usually not like the entire bar. It's usually, hey, these 3 drinks are going to be on special, or they have a drink of the day. Almost everybody has a drink of the day that's going to be a little bit less. But from what I understand, it's usually just a couple of select drinks that are going to be on sale.
Yeah, we've only been on Carnival once.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really drinking on that particular cruise. So can't say I kept track.
Yeah. I got a question. Why did they discontinue the VR experience on the SkyPad on the Quantum class ship? They discontinued it on all of the ships, to my knowledge, and now it's just a bungee up and down. I guess people didn't like it. I would suspect people were getting motion sick. That would be my suggestion.
There may have been a little too much cleanup involved.
Yeah, and also they got to maintain it. It wasn't that great, to be honest with you. I tried it a couple times on Mariner. Actually, Mariner.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. I have to be honest. So I would not miss it. For sure.
I did not want to do the virtual reality thing. So I did just the bungee part of it. And I have to say, I wouldn't even do that again, because for me, the harness was so uncomfortable.
Well, and then they got rid of it.
I did not enjoy it.
And now they're basically getting rid of it on most of the ships anyway. So yeah. You're welcome, Richie D. Hi, Gary with a G. How are you? Raymond, you had a blast last one. 25 of you on the Prima. Oh, that had to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys had some good go-kart races on that. That sounds great. DW, to get good prices for Canadians. So, that's the funny thing. The cruise lines control the pricing. Okay, if anybody says they can get you a lower price on something, the only way they can get you a lower price on something is if they booked a group cruise. back when the cruises first came online, like the Icon of the Seas. If you booked the Icon, the new releases, the day they came out, you could grab, like as a travel agent, I can grab a whole bunch of cabins at whatever price it is that day. And then, 6 months later, obviously the price has gone up, but I've still got these cabins that I'm holding at a lower price. So the cruise lines control all the pricing. So whatever pricing you see on the cheap cruise websites, I get the exact same prices. Where we can help out sometimes we get extra onboard credit. Sometimes we have extra amenities that can be added, such as maybe a shore excursion, maybe a cocktail event, maybe something. The biggest thing that you get with working with a travel advisor is the back end service. When you're working with a good travel advisor, and I hope that we are one of the good ones. That's what our clients tell us. So I hope it's true. But when things go sideways, and sometimes things go sideways on a cruise or any travel, like that Portugal trip, it kind of went sideways as they were at the airport. Suddenly their car transport wasn't going to be there. So we arranged one for them in 10 minutes while they were sitting at the airport. They didn't have to deal with it. So when things go sideways, we have direct connections with all of our partners. I've got Kathy over at Royal Caribbean. I've got Tamika at Virgin Voyages. I've got Barbara at Celebrity. I got Joe over at Margaritaville at Sea. So we've got actual people that we can talk to if there's a situation that warrants, hey, we're not getting the answers that we want. Now we got to take it to another level. Or maybe you want certain things on the ship. Like you got a big group, like somebody just said they had 25 on the Prima. One, I hope you guys got a group rate on that because you can get up to 15% off for having a group on Norwegian. But like if you want to have special events or some things set up, we can easily help arrange that. So our prices very often are exactly the same as what you see on the cruise line website. But we can help you figure out like which of the categories is going to be the best one for you for sure. And then sometimes we can throw in extra amenities. We try to throw in extra amenities for every one of our bookings. So that was a long answer. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hit it hard. You're going on a Hawaii cruise this year. That is so amazing. Good morning, Cabin Life. How are you? Good to see you guys. Oh my gosh, we've missed you. Blue Man Flyer, are cruise pools filled with sea salty water or fresh potable sanitized water? That depends on the ship. It also depends on sometimes they may have like one that's salt water, like on MSC. Mm-hmm. The Jungle Pool is salt water, but the other two are fresh water. So it depends on the ship. Sometimes they're salt water, sometimes they're all salt water, sometimes they're all fresh water. And then every so often there's like one pool that's salt while the rest of them are fresh. So you just have to check on the pool itself. Yeah. Eric, you're going on the Jubilee on the 25th. I really want to see the Jubilee. She looks like a fabulous ship. Have an amazing time. Have an absolutely amazing time. Becky's going to the Panama Canal in 10 days. That's amazing. Rick says, we are the best. We do wonders for you. Rick, you are amazing. We had the pleasure of meeting Rick and his lovely wife, Barbara, at Disney World. I'll tell you, if any of you are going to be in the Orlando area, definitely ping us. If there's an opportunity for us to get together and say hello and have a cup of coffee, we would love to. We spent a lovely couple of hours with Rick and his wife going around Epcot. That was so much fun. And an amazing lunch, too. It was cold as heck, but it was an amazing lunch. Raymond is saying, get a handicap room and help. That is obviously in response talking about the bench in the room. And Virgin Voyages, which is the cruise line we were talking about, they do actually have accessible rooms. But you have to meet a certain criteria to get them. So if you don't meet that criteria, then they can kick you. They can actually kick you out. Do I ever find cruises for Canadians? Yeah, I have a couple of really great clients. In fact, some of them are on the Emerald Princess right now. I've got another one who does Princess all the time. So yeah, we can service all clients in North America and the Caribbean. In some cases, we can also help some folks who are overseas too. Like Emily was on the YouTube just a little while ago. She's over in London. So we were able to work with her on a couple of bookings as well. But for the most part, we are North America, so Canada, U.S. But all of our bookings are going to be in U.S. dollars for Canadians, except on Virgin Voyages, we can do Canadian dollars. But if you work with us, you have to work within U.S. dollars. So that's the only caveat.
And we have no control over the currency exchange.
Yeah. Lam, how are you? Thank you, Raymond, for stopping in. I appreciate it. Akita, the guy with the music on the way out to the beach in San Juan is your favorite. That's awesome. That's all. You know, it is kind of fun as you keep going back to these cruise ports. That is one of the fun things to see, well, who's still there. And you recognize some of the shops, you recognize some of the people. So yeah, that's always a great landmark, right? When you see these people out there. I will tell you, anybody going to Key West, here's a great landmark for you. DJ's Clam Shack. It's right on Duval Street. Rebecca introduced me to it. We are going back in June on the Valiant Lady. I will be going back and getting another half a lobster roll with Rebecca and then a bucket of clams. I need somebody to go with me to have some fried clams with me. It's going to be amazing. Good morning, Pretty TK. How are you? Lady K, what's the best transportation from Orlando International to Port Canaveral? Boy, there are so many options with that. Pretty soon, you're going to have the Brightline train. Right now, the Brightline train comes out of Orlando Airport. It goes straight, almost like within about 15 minutes of Port Canaveral, and then it hangs a right and goes south. Now there's talk that they are actually going to build a station there. So you will be able to take it on over there. The one that we use, the one that I booked, because they're a family-run company, they're great, Cocoa Beach Shuttle. They're fabulous. They will take you, they can pick you up at the airport in Orlando. They can pick you up at a hotel in Orlando. They will take you either directly to Port Canaveral or they will take you to a hotel on Cocoa Beach. My general rule of thumb is if you're coming into Orlando and you land before 4 o'clock, and you're just here for the cruise, and I would get a hotel over in Cocoa Beach. Go ahead and get your shuttle and just get there. Have a nice dinner. There's a couple of great Italian joints over in Cocoa Beach. Zarella's Italian and Papabito's. They're great places just to have lunch right there, and you can go out and walk on the beach. But if you're coming in after 4 o'clock, because it is a 1 hour drive, maybe you stay in Orlando and catch the shuttle the next day, so you can have a nice relaxing dinner. But Cocoa Beach Shuttle is the name of the company. I like those guys a lot. Eric, what's the best way to get started being a travel advisor? Oh, that's a great question. And I'm getting that more and more. Number one, you meet up with a travel advisor, such as myself or somebody, and find out what it's like. Because there's a lot of training. There's a lot of work that goes into it. You guys get to see this. You get to see all the fun stuff with the content. My days usually start around 8 a.m. and they might not end until 11:30 p.m. Sometimes 1, 2 o'clock in the morning next day. And that almost every day because we do a lot of work for our clients. But the biggest thing is you need to research host agencies. That's what it's called. We work under KHM Travel Group. They're located in Cincinnati. There's about, I think, 5,500 travel agents all working under KHM. And so, and it's not the right term at all. And they hate it when I do this, but I say, think of McDonald's, where McDonald's has the headquarters up in Chicago. And then there's all these franchisees that, they sell the McDonald's product, they buy the McDonald's, they like when you go into McDonald's, you know what you're getting. So they're all using the same system. So we all use the KHM system. So you want to find a very good host agency that's going to take care of you, one that's going to pay you a good split on the commission, but then has really, really good support on the back end. KHM has both of those, but there are other host agencies out there that are very good as well. So that's the biggest thing to becoming a travel agent. If you want to reach out, you're more than welcome to reach out. My contact information, this would be a good time to remind everybody. So you can reach us at where'swaltertravel.com. There's a contact page. You can set up a time for a chat. Eric, you're welcome to set up a time for a chat. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. If you're watching us on TikTok, you click that little logo. There is a link tree that's in my profile. The first button is contact us. And you can set up an appointment. Now, you can't set up any appointments this coming week. I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale for the entire week at a conference. So the first appointments, I think, are going to be next Saturday afternoon. But if you obviously, if any of my clients need to reach out to me, just email me. We'll set up a time to chat this coming week. I will be taking care of you guys. But yeah, and if you're watching us over on YouTube, you just simply down in the description down below, you will find the links to contact us. And we'll be more than happy to set up a time. The way it works with us, we're going to do an intake call. I'm going to get the information, and then Rebecca and I are going to go off and do some research. We will generally find between 3 and 6 options, and then we'll go over those with you, and then we kind of go back and forth until we find the right vacation for you. So yeah, Terry, 7 days away from a Norwegian breakaway. That's so exciting. I love it. I love it. Lisa, do I know anything about free drinks during happy hour? I do not.
I kind of was doing a little quick research, which admittedly is not probably 100% accurate, but it does not sound like there's ever free drinks. There might be discounted drinks. And it sounds like it's not on every ship and not on every itinerary. So it can vary wildly.
So happy hour means nothing on Carnival. It just depends on the ship.
You just have to, apparently it is posted in their fun times thing. So if it's going to happen, you'll see, well, it's on your app. The fun times is on your app. Yeah, you'll see it if it's going to happen on your particular ship and particular itinerary.
And huge shout out to Carnival. They have one of the best apps. That Hub app is fabulous, really fabulous. And the best part about that Hub app, they have My Time Dining on those ships. You just simply go in the app and say, I'm ready to eat. I'm ready for dinner. And that's it. You wait until your phone vibrates and gives you a notification that your table is ready. And then you got 10 minutes to get down to the restaurant. That's fabulous.
Well, and plus the other thing I liked is we were on the Mardi Gras, so you could get an included meal at La Cucina and Chibang, and you could choose the particular restaurant you wanted, or you could just choose whatever is open first.
Exactly.
So it was entirely up to you, and it would give you an approximate wait time.
That would be great. Let's see. I got Judy. Hi, Judy. You're getting ready for your first cruise in years. Oh my gosh. Your husband needs assistance and oxygen. What line would I recommend? Well, there is no particular cruise line for that. That is all handled by special needs. No cruise line is going to provide oxygen. No cruise line is going to provide assistance. What you need to do is, one, you should be working with a travel advisor, whether it's myself or one of my many colleagues. Because there's going to be special needs forms that need to be filled out. And then we have special needs companies too. So like Scootaround, actually Scootaround does a lot more than just the scooters. A lot of people don't realize that. And then we have a company called Special Needs Group that specifically works, because the cruise lines know them, they know the cruise line. So there is no specific cruise line that's going to work best for that. That is all going to be third party. That's all going to be third party coordination.
And depending what you mean by assistance, the cruise line may or may not be able to provide that, or even a third party may or may not be able to provide that.
Yeah, the only assistance that the cruise lines will provide is somebody will roll you up in a wheelchair onto the ship at the home port, and they will roll you off the ship at the home port. Anything within the cruise is all on you. They will not roll you on and off the ship at the cruise ports. That is all your responsibility. And if you need somebody to actually do that assistance, you actually have to book that person to come on the cruise with you. And people do that. People will book a
And there are companies that provide that.
Yeah. So we can book a caregiver to go onto the ship with you through a third party. So Heath, first cruises this week. Any tips? Have fun. Go with the flow. The biggest thing to go with the flow is the biggest thing I can tell you, because no port stop is guaranteed. So understand that depending on weather, depending on something that might happen with the ship, depending on anything, something happens with the port, you may not necessarily go to all of the ports. Some of the itineraries can change on the fly due to situations beyond the cruise line's control. So just be aware of that. And you might have an extra sea day, or you might have some other things as well. So yeah, just go with the flow. Have fun. Just have fun. That's the biggest tip I can give you. Just have a lot of fun, really. You heard that the Costamare port in Mexico is closed due to damage. Is that true? No, it is not closed. What does happen, however, is that Costa Maya is an unprotected port, meaning that there's no seawall, there's no land. It's just an open port. So the winds can be phenomenal in that port. So that port is called off a lot because the ship can't safely navigate in. So that's why you may have heard some people going, oh, well, we couldn't go in because of the winds. Yeah, that happens a lot. Although on our last cruise, man, that MSC Seashore, I don't know how we got in. I don't know how the Carnival Magic got in. It was so windy. That was some masterful piloting by those ship captains to get those ships in. But very often, those ports are missed just because of wind. Stephanie, hi, how are you? See, just talking about KHM Travel, there is one of my fellow compatriots over there. And one of the cool things about being a travel advisor, there is so much travel out there that none of us are, we share so much information. Like, we share a lot more information than you would probably anticipate that we would, because you're like, well, aren't they going to steal your clients? There's so many clients out there. We couldn't possibly even service 1% of all the potential clients out there. And I talked about earlier, the Cruise Line Industry Association came out with this big study that they come out with every year. They said 32 million people travel. Cruise was 2%. 2% of all travel in 2023. So think about all the people booking travel. One of the cool things about being a travel agent with the right travel company, KHM certainly being one of them, we share so much information because, KHM certainly believes that a rising tide lifts all ships. So we're all helping each other. That there's no jealousy. There's no, oh my God, I don't want to give away the information because they might. I just did a whole post this morning showing everybody exactly how we do what we're doing right now with the live stream to help other folks start doing their live stream. So yeah. And Stephanie, I think I'm going to see you in a couple of days down in Fort Lauderdale. Yay. My virtual Joe, you hated the Fort Lauderdale airport, always had weather issues, rude workers too. We've always had good luck. That's the airport where they play that fun calypso, if they still do it, where they play the calypso music instead of that dan, 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 when the belt is going to start and baggage claim, they would play that calypso music. But we always had good experience in Fort Lauderdale. I'm sorry you didn't. Donna, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon, wherever we are. Sherry, you're flying in and going on a cruise out of Miami. Tips on a hotel for the night before boarding. So, and that one we do. We have a list of like 30 hotels that we book our clients into. So if you need some help with that, certainly reach out. But 2 trains of thought there for us, or maybe 3. The cheapest are going to be out by the airport. Not a great place to stay. It's not a great area of town. And you really can't walk anywhere. You really can't go walk to a restaurant. You really can't do much of anything. So for us, we always encourage our clients to spend a little bit more, stay in Brickell, which is the downtown area. Lots of walkable restaurants in that area. Plus you've got, drugstores and whatnot, like if you want to pick up some water or soda, things like that, or any last minute things for the cruise. Or you stay in South Beach, Miami Beach. I'll tell you, South Beach is like one of my favorite places in all of the United States. It's just so much fun. So my opinion is spend a little bit more. You're closer and more convenient to the port, staying in either Brickell or staying in South Beach, than you are saving money and staying out by the airport where, you're going to save money, but you really can't do much of anything. Unless you're flying in at like 11 o'clock at night. Well, then, just stay at the airport because you're just going to be going to the cruise port the next day. So,
and my big tip. Miami tip I always give to everybody because it caught us a couple of times. Most of the restaurants in Miami automatically add a tip, no matter how many people are in your party.
Yep.
So be sure to look at your restaurant receipt very carefully to see whether the tip is already included. Now, certainly you can add a little extra, but you just don't want to double tip them. Right.
M. James, what are a couple of cruise lines that we recommend? Oh, God, all of them. To be honest with you, I've taken Margaritaville off the list now. So we would recommend. So here's the thing about cruise line. You should never be thinking about cruise lines. You should always be thinking about the ship and the itinerary, because even within the same cruise line, where I've talked about Royal Caribbean before, we've got 7 different classes of ships, from very small Vision class all the way up to the Icon of Seas, which has it is a floating amusement park. So you have to think about the ships, and then what ship is going to be the best one for whatever. Like, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what kind of a vacation you're looking for. I also don't know what time of year do you want to sail? Where do you want to sail out of? And where do you want to go?
And who are you traveling with?
Yeah, and who are you traveling with? Because those are the 3 most important things. Because at every home port, there's a limited number of ships. Even like Miami, right? Miami, Port Canaveral, they're 2 of the busiest cruise ports in the world. And I think they have 10 or 12 ships like going in and out at any given time. So that's the biggest thing. It's not the cruise line, it's the ship itself. And what kind of an experience are you looking for? If you're looking for that more adult centric, obviously Virgin Voyages is adults only, Viking is adults only, Celebrity, Princess, Holland America, Oceania, they're going to be adult centric. If you're looking for that more family-based experience, or you're looking for more of that top deck, I want to have I want to have skydiving, I want to have surfing, I want to have go-karts, I want to have, all that like really crazy fun stuff. Then you're looking at Norwegian, Disney, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, maybe MSC as well. Like if you're looking for like the cheapest cruise out there, that's going to be MSC. So it just depends on what you're looking for, what kind of a vacation you're looking for, and certainly like what's your budget as well, because we can work within various budgets as well. So I honestly, you can, if you name a cruise line, I'm probably going to say, yeah, and that's going to be good for this particular thing. So just reach out if you'd like to. If you've never taken a cruise or you're looking to get into some new cruises, you can certainly reach out to us. Our services are 100% free to you. And that's why, a lot of people come to us for the first time. They're like, is it really free? Yes, it's really free. We don't charge you anything for booking the cruise, for booking the airports, for booking the transfers, for booking the hotels. We can do as much or as little as you want. And we've been in a few situations where we've had clients come to us for cruises, and the specific things that they want to do, like one in particular in Italy, we ended up booking them on a land tour instead, because the cruise just wasn't going. They weren't going to have enough time in the various locations to do what they wanted to do. So now they're actually going to do 10 days on land, on a land tour. That's all fully planned out. It's kind of like a cruise. Like, they don't have to think about anything. It's all right there. So yes, certainly reach out. Super Nurse, you saw Paul, how do you say that? Gauguin cruise on TV. It looks amazing, but probably very expensive. Yes, and are we familiar with Paul Gauguin? We are definitely familiar with it.
Well, they only have one ship, first off.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, around 300-ish passengers. Yeah. So right there off the bat, it's expensive.
It's an exclusive experience. It's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's an exclusive experience. If you're looking for that kind of an experience, but you're like, oh, I really don't want to pay the Gauguin money. Now, and also, obviously, the cost of it's going to depend on where is it sailing. Which is
predominantly the South Pacific.
Yeah. But, where is it sailing? When is it sailing? How long is it sailing? So that is going. So expense, and also keep in mind that I believe they are all inclusive at this point, right? They're like literally everything's included. So when you say expensive, you also have to compare, well, what are you getting? Because like Oceania, when I say Oceania, people are like, oh my God, that's expensive, right? Luxury. I can put you in Oceania for the same price as a junior suite on some of these Royal Caribbeans. And people are like, wait, what? And that gets you all your food, your Wi-Fi, beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner is going to get you up to $1,200 in shore excursion credit. So, we kind of have to compare and contrast. Well, what are you thinking about? And then, well, how did Paul Gauguin like compare? And maybe that's not the right one. Maybe we're going to find Oceania. Maybe we're going to find Osmara. Maybe we're going to find Viking. And you're going to get similar kind of experience. Even Regent, Regent Seven Seas, I see that. And everybody's like, whoa. You'd be surprised. When you factor in business class flights, when you factor in pretty much everything's included. Now we put a celebrity cruise next to that, or we put a princess cruise, or we put, don't let the name scare you. That's part of what we do. We'll go in and we'll find, we'll take a look and see, is the value there for what you're trying to do? We kind of know what kind of budget you're trying to get yourself into. And if we can put you on a luxury line that it's going to have more inclusions, like even Celebrity Retreat, Norwegian Haven, amazing experiences, right? But you still got to pay for all the specialty dining, right? You got to pay for the Wi-Fi. You got to, like, that stuff is coming with it, but there's still a lot of things that they got to pay for. There's no shore excursions included. So when you start adding up some of the things, like Regent Seven Seas is business class travel automatically. So it's like, how much does business class cost to go to Europe? Like what, $5,000-$6,000, and they're putting it right into the cruise itself. So there's that relativity or relatively relative cost. There it is, relative cost. That's what I'm trying to think of. Well, it's not just this is this much and this is this much. So this one, the cheaper one must be better. Well, okay, let's add on all the things that you're going to add on, and all of a sudden you might be within, say, $2,000 of each other. So,
and the other thing to keep in mind is, and Walter has done this before, people will come with him. It's like, oh, I really like this itinerary, but this is kind of out of my budget. Can you find something similar?
Yeah. I mean, we have literally booked everything from, say, like a $750 Carnival cruise up to, I think one of our regions was over $50,000, something like that. So we book everything. And a lot of my travel colleagues think I'm nuts, but I never look at it because we're paid commission. This is how we make our money. Let's be honest, right? So we make a commission, and the commission is built into all of these travel prices. So whether you book through Celebrity Cruises or you book through us, the commission is already built in. It's just Celebrity doesn't have to pay the commission; they get to keep it if you book it through them. And a lot of my colleagues think I'm nuts because I never look at the commission when I'm booking. And Rebecca doesn't either. We're just looking at, you gave us these parameters. This is what's going to work for you. What's the best vacation? And my feeling always is, if we do our job right, then the commissions take care of themselves on the back end. So we're always looking at what's the best value for you. And if you want to know, okay, I'm looking at this celebrity, what would it cost me if I went on Paul Gauguin, or what would it cost if I go on Viking? Yeah, we'll present it to you, and then we'll talk you through, this is what you're getting on Viking and Gauguin, and this is what you're getting on celebrity. And is the value there? And only you can make that decision. I will, the one thing I will never do is pick the cruise for you. We'll get it down to 2. We'll talk through it, but you're always going to make that decision. I do not want to pressure you into getting something that you don't want. And I'm never going to pressure you into getting something just because, oh, well, the commission's better on this one, so let's push them into that one. No, we don't do that. And another thing you guys should know too, is every time you reach out to us and you say, hey, the price has gone down, our commission goes down. And yes, we will gladly go in. We go in there, we get the price. In fact, today I made a final payment on Royal Caribbean, and shockingly, the price actually dropped by $150 overnight. So right before I made the final payment, I went in and I changed the, I updated it. So she saved $150, and then I made the final payment. But my commission also dropped by a little bit. So yeah. So that was a really long answer. I'm sorry. See, this is why it takes me so long to get to some of your questions. I'll remind you, we're at the top of the hour. I am Walter, your independent travel advisor with Where's Walter Travel. The voice that you keep hearing off camera is my lovely wife, Rebecca, who is my partner in crime. We are booking cruises, land, luxury, and expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. And we like to say that your memories are priceless. So if you want to reach out, if you're watching us on TikTok, you click that little logo. There's going to be a link tree, and then you'll find the contact us at the first link, or just go to where'swaltertravel.com, click that contact us button. If you're watching us on YouTube, you go down to the links in the description to contact us. I will tell everybody there is no availability this coming week for meetings because I am going to be at a conference this entire week. But if you really need to talk this week, there is an email address on there too. It's info@where'swaltertravel. You can just reach out to me via that email. And if I have time this coming week, I will gladly set up a time where we can hop on a call to chat. But there's no regularly scheduled meetings with me this coming week until next Saturday. But today there are, if you want to meet with me today. I think there was still a couple of slots still open for today. So Pillow Talk, wasn't I with IntelliTravel? That was the host agency I started with. Yes, I started with IntelliTravel. I transitioned over to KHM Travel March, April.
After the convention,
year.
Actually.
Huh?
After the convention last year.
Yeah, that's right. Right after the convention. So it was April of 2023. Yes, Stephanie, I'll see you next week. Kel 70, do any cruise lines sail to Hawaii in the summer from ports not actually in Hawaii? No. Not in the summer. No, and the reason for that is the ships that do that Hawaii run are up in Alaska. So that's why you don't see any of that. Or some of them may be doing like, no, I don't even think they're doing Panama Canal.
Basically, they're other places.
Yeah, all those ships are other places. They only come into LA for a short time to do that run, but not in the summertime. In the summertime, if you want to do Hawaii, you got to fly to Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
hit hard. Oh, okay. You got that. You're welcome, Super Nurse 909. Just reach out. We would love to help you. Just reach out anytime. Let's see. Tricia, how are you? Best cruise experience so far for you has been the MSC Yacht Club. Amazing. Now that is an absolutely great comment, because the MSC Yacht Club, so a lot of people know the Haven, the Yacht Club was actually first. I looked this up and I'm like, oh, so they copied the Yacht Club, or they copied the Haven. No, actually the Haven came second when you actually look it up. So the MSC Yacht Club is an interesting thing. One, it costs a lot less than the Haven, and you get your 24-hour butler, you get your lounge, you get, all those exclusive things. But number two, you actually get more with the Yacht Club than you do with the Haven included. So yeah, I think the Yacht Club is great.
You get basic Wi-Fi, you get a drinks package already included, which you still have to pay extra for if you want in the Haven.
On the Haven. So yeah, so overall, the MSC Yacht Club is dollar for dollar is a better value. Now, that overall ship experience is going to be different, once you leave those respective areas. But yeah, we've not done the Yacht Club yet. We've been on the seaside and the seashore. On the seaside, we purposely did a standard sailing because we wanted to see what the ship was like. The second time, we really wanted to get on the seashore, so we did a travel agent thing and just got ourselves on the ship just to go see it.
We do intend to do the Yacht Club.
Yeah, Yacht Club is coming up. It's probably going to be the seashore if she's still out of, although I'd like to get on the seascape. But oh no, the Seashore is the one that's moving, right? Seascape Seashore is the one that's moving to Texas next year. That's going to be exciting. Y'all in Texas, man, you're going to have the
just
Carnival
in the
Jubilee.
middle of the country.
You're going to have an Oasis class ship, and you're going to have a Seashore or Seascape coming over there. That's going to be amazing. That's going to be absolutely amazing for y'all. Hey, Donna, I just noticed you're in New York. Hi, fellow New Yorker. I haven't been in New York in a long time, though. Scott, well, you're welcome. Scott is thanking us for the channels. We appreciate it. And Ocean, thank you for the kind words about our TikTok live. And just so you know, we do a YouTube live on Thursday nights as well, 8 p.m. We tried to bring on our travel partners. We had an amazing 1 hour with Princess this past week. So if you want to know more about the Sun Princess or Princess Cruises in general, go to our YouTube channel. We've had Princess, American Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Oceana. I've got Colette Travel. I've got Riverside River Cruises coming up. I've got Raro Tours coming up. Margaritaville at Sea is coming up. So on Thursday nights, we do a 1 hour live from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, but only on YouTube. And on that one, we tend to have our travel partners. That's why I only do it on YouTube, because at least then the replay, you can watch it if you miss it. So you can go right back and watch it again. Chuck, what's the best way to book a cruise for a single handicapped person? Really work with a travel advisor, to be honest with you. There are limited, first of all, you're limited. Now, there's two different kinds of accessible. There is fully accessible, and then there's ambulatory. Ambulatory means that you can get yourself around, but I think they take away the lips in the bathroom and stuff like that.
I don't know.
And actually, no,
I think basically they just put grab rails near.
Yeah.
So there's grab rails near the tub and the
maybe
toilet.
The benches too.
Yeah, and maybe a shower bench,
Yeah.
but really that's it's a standard cabin with a few accommodations.
Right. And then you have the fully accessible. So depending on what kind you need, like I have a client that we just had to book. I'm going to forget the name of it now, but that bar that's above the bed, you got to pull yourself out of bed. We're renting that from Scoot Around. They're going to bring it onto the ship for him. So it depends on what you need. Now, all of the cruise lines have varying amounts of accessible cabins available. So,
and I don't know if any of them have specifically solo accessible.
To my knowledge, they don't. So they're all going to be double occupancy cabins. To my knowledge, they don't have a handicap cabin that's designed just for solo. If there was going to be one, it would be Norwegian, but I don't know of that. Well, because they introduced all the solo cabins.
Yeah.
So they might. But work with a travel advisor for sure, whether it's myself or one of my many colleagues, because we can help find out that information. You know, we can look at all the deck plans for you. Find who has them. You know, because first of all, we got to figure out, well, where do you want to sail to? Where do you want to sail from? And what kind of an experience do you want?
And what are your exact needs?
Right. So that's something that if you work with a travel advisor, whether it's myself or one of my many colleagues, we're going to ask you a lot of questions. And then we're going to go ahead and start looking for the ships for you. If you just start going out and looking at ships, I mean, you will probably be overwhelmed just by all the choices of ships. And then you've got to really dig in to the deck plans to go, well, what's a handicap room? What's an ambulatory room? What's the,
quite a few lines really only have interiors, maybe ocean views for accessible cabins. There are some lines, and it's becoming more common, where they'll have higher level cabins that are also accessible. But since there's a limited amount, you definitely, if you need a fully accessible cabin, you need to book as far out as possible to give yourself the best chance of getting one, because if you wait to the last minute, they're probably all sold out.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking less than probably 5% of the cabins on the ship are going to be accessible, like fully accessible.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 1 or 2% tops.
Pretty TK doing a first-time cruise on the Valiant Lady. It's only 4 nights. Any tips on grabbing reservations? So first of all, the entertainment reservations are no longer necessary. It's first come, first serve at the Red Room, so you won't be doing that. The only thing you can really book in advance are your shore things. Those open up 120 days before the sailing, like a final payment date. On final payment date, shore things will open up. Those are your shore excursion. And then if you're a rock star, your dining reservations will open 60 days out. If you're a regular sailor on Virgin Voyages, they will open up 45 days out. The best way to book dining, and I can tell you this from firsthand experience, to work with your travel advisor, we can go into the booking engine and we can book your dinners much more easily than you can trying to use the app.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. I just have a bunch of rock stars. I'm talking about, we have our big group cruise coming up in June. It opened up for the rock stars yesterday, and literally every rock star pinged me and said, I can't get the app to work. And you booked the dining for me, because I had already sent an email out to them saying, if you can't get it to work, ping me. And, within about, I don't know, 20 minutes, I had 8 or 9 different cabins. I've just booked all the reservations. When the app, when the booking engine works, I can do it in less than 5 minutes. So that is your best, that's my best advice for booking the dinner reservations with Virgin Voyages, is to work with a travel advisor. They open up at midnight.
Ish.
Yeah, they
Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern time. So,
though often they're open a half hour, 15 minutes earlier.
And I actually
than
stay up. I'll stay up and I'll make the reservations like at midnight or whenever it is that they open up. So yeah, so just work with a travel advisor. So you're welcome, Chuck. Hey, if we can help you, certainly reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. Our services are 100% free to you. So we are more than happy to help you out. And again, our services is just 100% free. So where's WalterTravel.com. Contact us, set up a time. This coming week, there's no time available. There should be time today. I see Joe is having trouble making a reservation today. It's possible that some people have already filled it in.
Well, you can also send him an email, and he will
send me an email. We work together, Joe. Just go ahead and send me an email, and I'll reply after the show. We'll be wrapping up in a little bit anyway, but I'll reply after the show. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit later today. No problem at all. And if anybody else is trying to set up an appointment for today before I disappear to Fort Lauderdale for the week, info@where'swaltertravel.com. Just drop me an email. Another thing too, if you live on the West Coast, my appointments kind of stop around 6 o'clock Eastern time, but I have started meetings at midnight Eastern time, because that's the best time. 9 o'clock at night was the best time to work for my clients on the West Coast. So if you don't see times on my calendar that work for you, and especially if you live, Mountain time, West Coast time, just send me an email and say, hey, Walt, I'd like to meet with you, but I can only meet at 8 o'clock at night, West Coast time. Fine. I'll meet you. I'll call you at 11 o'clock my time, and we'll have the meeting. And that's how it works. I do whatever it takes to service our clients, and sometimes it means I stay up really late, but that's okay. I'm up late anyway. Pretty TK, you were able to add the splash of romance to your package. You'd love to have the thought, have we done it? We have not personally done it, because we have the Deep Blue Extra. So one of the biggest perks of the splash of romance is to get that early boarding time. But we have booked it for a lot of our clients. Now, the one thing to know about it, it's limited to only 75 people. So that's good. So it's not like the spa is going to be overrun when you go down there. But every one of our clients that has done it has loved it. They absolutely love the fact that you get the early boarding. So when you show up at the terminal, no matter what.
At least in Miami.
Yeah, at least in Miami. And I believe it works the same way in San Juan and overseas. No matter what time your app says to board, like here in Miami, boarding starts at 1:30. So you show up at the terminal, say at 1:15, and say, I've got Splash of Romance. They're going to double check it, and then they're going to send you to
get a little
bracelet. And then you wear that bracelet to get in. So that is the number one perk to the whole thing. Of course, you're going to get a bottle of bubbly as well, and then you get the time in the spa, which is really, really nice.
And
so every one of our
treats
clients
in your cabinet.
Yeah. So every one of our clients has loved it, primarily for that early boarding, because they just want to get on the ship. Although
I will say, getting on the ship early in order to make your entertainment reservations is kind of not an issue anymore.
But if you want to book the workouts and all that other stuff, and the coffee thing and the mezcal thing and all of that, yeah, you still want to get on early. So people do seem to like that Splash of Romance package on there. In fact, I just bought one for a client the other day. So, and we are a top 100 Virgin Voyage agent here in North America. So there's according to Tamika, there's about 100,000 travel agents in North America that sell Virgin Voyages. So the fact that we're in the top 100 is insane. But we're very proud of that. And we love Tamika to death. She is the best. And John DiOrio over at Virgin Voyages, he's been an amazing friend to the company as well. He has personally gotten involved with, I was talking earlier about when things go sideways. We had a client that needed a specific situation taken care of. We were getting nowhere with Virgin Voyages. I wasn't getting anywhere with First Mate support. So I just wrote to John. John is the vice president of sales of North America. Like he's one of the top dogs for Virgin Voyages here. And I mean, it wasn't even an hour later. He responded and we're taking a look, and 2 days later, the situation was solved. Got it taken care of, got my clients into the suite they wanted to get into, the suite that everybody else insisted they were not going to be allowed to get into. John, they're in. There you go. So I think that, to me, and that's the reason why we always worked with a travel advisor until we became travel advisors ourselves, just for that back end support. I mean, thank God we had a travel advisor during the shutdown, because we had multiple cruises that had to keep being rebooked and moved and this, that, and the other. And we didn't have to deal with it. They did, and I was very fortunate that I became a travel advisor after that. I have so much respect for all of my colleagues who went through that. Now being on this side of it, just amazing. Yes, Joe, you got first boarding. I'm glad you got the good heads up. Scotty, do I know anything about the Port of Seattle? I heard that transportation is difficult there. That I haven't heard. One of the coolest things that Seattle has is they have a luggage transfer, free luggage transfer from the ship to the airport.
Although I understand that not all cruise lines are participating.
No, there's only
anymore.
only a couple of cruise lines participating in it. But I'm just going to interrupt for a moment because I see that some comments were filtered out. If you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages,
on TikTok,
use VV. Don't use the word Virgin. TikTok is going to filter that out. So if you're trying to ask me a follow-up question about Virgin Voyages, do not use the word Virgin on TikTok. You can use it on YouTube all you want, but on TikTok, they're going to filter you out. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I don't know if Royal Caribbean is participating in that program, but there is a program that is offered it's actually offered by the airport, where they will, for free, transfer your bags from the ship directly to your plane. Like you won't even handle them at all. They will handle the transfer of the luggage over there. One of our clients actually told us about this, I think, or maybe it was one of my colleagues, or both. Yeah, I think it was both. Actually, Jeremiah told me about it, and then one of our colleagues, Jim, told me about it. But it is a free service.
And certainly we will know more next year.
Yeah, we're going to Seattle next year, but so far, we have sent a bunch of clients to Seattle on cruises. I haven't heard anything at all about transportation being difficult in Seattle.
I mean, my go-to would be probably Uber, Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine that would be all that difficult in Seattle.
No. And like we were talking about earlier,
I don't know about organized, more like shuttles and things like that. That maybe that is more difficult.
I don't know, but one of the things that is growing with us is clients asking us for personal card transfers. So we work with a great partner. I told the story a little bit earlier. I had a client flying to Portugal 2 days ago, and the whole car transport thing got all messed up. And within 10 minutes, I booked the car. She said they landed yesterday. The driver was waiting for them right at baggage claim, just like they said they would be, and took care of it. So that's a growing thing. But a lot of clients, especially if you have 4 people, and you don't want to have to worry about, well, do we have to get 2 cars or things like that? But I honestly, I don't know if anybody else watching this has heard anything, but I have not heard anything specific about Port of Seattle being difficult. Now, Port of Miami can be a bear at times, like if there's 7-8 ships in port. Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades can be a backup because they force you to show cards on, like your ID.
Apparently, that's not every entrance. There's only certain entrances they do that.
Gotcha.
But apparently, we've always gone in those entrances. So.
That must be where Princess is then, because we were usually on Princess. So yeah, I haven't heard that. None of my colleagues have reported back. Now, the one I do hear about is Brooklyn. I hear that the Port of Brooklyn can be a bear. Depending, some people have had I got there, we got right on the ship and all that, and other people we were waiting forever to get in. So I have heard very mixed reviews about Brooklyn. It sounds like Brooklyn is not quite ready for prime time yet, but of course they're going to be working with it, hopefully working on that. Emily, you're still here. How are you? I tell you, I love this whole internet thing. Emily is watching us from London over there. I can't wait to meet you, Emily. Just a few more months. Like a month and a half, we'll get to meet you. Emily is going to be coming to Disney and then coming on Virgin. Regarding afternoon tea with Virgin Voyages, is it available to book in advance? No, it is not. You book that once you're on the ship, and you have 2 options. And I will tell you, anybody who's watching and going on Virgin Voyages, the afternoon tea is worth it. It's one of the few things that you actually have to pay for. I don't know if the prices are still the same, but they were $19 per person for tea and like $35 per person if you wanted to upgrade to champagne. I think it's absolutely worth it. It's one of the better afternoon teas out there for a mainstream cruise line, which makes sense because they are a British cruise line. They do lovely scones. They have actual clotted cream. The tea is great. But no, you have to book that once you're actually on the ship. Once you're on the Wi-Fi, you'll be able to go and make the reservation.
And it's generally only offered on sea days.
Generally.
I've never seen it on a port day.
Right. And on that particular cruise, Emily, I think we have one.
And I don't think we even made reservations. I think we just showed up.
True.
During the time period that it was running.
Yeah. So if it's not sold out, you can literally just walk up.
I don't know that they do reservations in advance. I don't think
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. So
I think you just show up.
Emily, maybe you just show up. Now there is limited capacity. I think it's 35 tables total or something like that.
But there is a 2-hour, 3-hour period where it's running.
Yeah.
So
now, the first time we went, they had like a bunch of servers and the service was great. The second time we went, most recently, there was like one poor woman running around doing everybody. So the service was especially slow on that one. Cause I remember the guys from, This Cruise Life came over and it took like forever to get another round of stuff over there. But, thank you, Alex. Alex confirmed they do not do tea reservation. Thank you for the confirmation, Alex.
Yeah, I was pretty sure they didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's really good. It's really good. Ocean says, and to get to Brooklyn from anywhere is a huge ordeal. I mean, getting around New York is a huge ordeal. It can be anyway. Yeah, New York City. Now, I haven't heard about that many issues like with the Manhattan cruise terminal. I mean, obviously that's going to be really busy. It's New York. I would certainly stay over in that area. But Brooklyn does sound like they still need to get some work done on people management.
The New Jersey one, I think, runs fairly smoothly.
Yeah, Cape Liberty, unless, of course, that one Norwegian sailing. That got all missed.
Well, so I think that was a strike issue or something.
Hey, John, thank you for the info. Looking forward to more info on the new Princess dining options. Yes, I will be doing a TikTok and a YouTube short on that right after the show, because I even confused myself earlier when I was talking about it. But if you're going on Princess cruises and you're sailing after if you're sailing after September 14th of this year, Princess is rolling out a new 3-seating option for the main dining room. You can do traditional seating, which is 5:30 and 7 or 5 and 7:30, one or the other. You can make reservations for any time, or you can just walk up. It can be 3 different options. You will go to either 3 different dining rooms or 3 different areas or separate sections of a dining room. They've been doing this on the Sun Princess as a pilot. It's been incredibly successful. So as of September 14th, the entire Princess fleet is going to roll over to this. If you have made reservations for your main dining room and you're sailing after September 14th, your dining reservations have been canceled in the main dining room. Starting in June, you'll be able to rebook those your main dining room experience. So I will be doing a video on this right after this.
And specialty dining is not included in. So if you made specialty reservations already, those will still be there.
Those will still be there. Just to add more confusion. Why don't we?
Why not?
Pretty TK, on Virgin Voyages, your daughter and you are not big drinkers. Do they offer any classes or craft not drink related? Oh, that's a great question. Yes, they do arts and crafts, which is a lot of fun.
We made friendship bracelets.
Yeah, they made friendship bracelets. They made they have this big like mural kind of thing that they do that you color in during the entire week. Like you can stop by multiple times, you can color it in. They have speed puzzling. They have Sudoku games. They have trivia games. So
they have tea classes and coffee classes, and they have some food classes. That don't necessarily involve.
Exactly. So. So there, and we don't talk about this enough, but I forget what he called himself. He wasn't the gamer, he wasn't whatever, but he's like the arts and crafts guy or the arts and crafts woman on the ship. Virgin Voyages doesn't have a cruise director. They have a happenings cast of 13 people. And the arts and craft person they have something going on every day, and usually multiple times a day there's going to be things going on. So yeah, there's actually a lot to do on Virgin. It had nothing to do with alcohol, for sure. So yeah, you have a great time.
By the way, they do make pretty good mocktails as well.
Yeah,
if you're
Rebecca
at a
says
bar.
she had the best Bloody Mary she's ever had, and it was a mocktail.
I will say, last time we were on Virgin, I had the Bloody Mary again. It wasn't as good as it has been previously.
No. So they may have changed the mix.
Maybe.
Yeah, and Ocean is saying that Manhattan is easy because the train goes right near there. No driving. That is fantastic.
They're called The Artist. That's The Artist.
The Artist. That's it. Thank you, user 761. Appreciate it. I could not remember. Mama Donna, I'm sorry. You know what Mama Donna is, what we're excited about? The princess. I bet the princess thing. That's what you're talking about. Carmen, how do you make specialty dining reservations? I'm not sure which cruise line you're referencing.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Carmen. Depending on the cruise line, it'll be in your app. It could be on your Princess. So with
it depends on what ship you're on too.
If you're on the Sun Princess, you can only make your reservation about 60 days out. It's different than the rest of the ships. If you're on any of the other ships, you need to be paid in full. Okay, so you're on the Royal Princess. You got to be paid in full in order to make dining reservations. You can't make dining reservations unless you're paid in full. If you are paid in full and you're still not seeing it, reach out to your travel advisor, or if you didn't use a travel advisor, you're gonna have to reach out to Princess. You should be able to make your dining reservations once you are paid in full.
And on the app.
And on the app.
You can't. There is I think a roundabout way to do it online, but basically it's on the app, and you have to have the new app. They are no longer supporting the Medallion app. It's the new Princess Cruises app.
Yeah. So if you have the old Medallion app, you need to delete that. You need to download the new Princess app. And it's the one that has the princess, that has the sea witch in the logo. So
they both have the sea witch, but the one is in a circle, and the old one is in a circle, and the new one's
But the old app was called like the Ocean Medallion app. The new one is called the Princess app. So yeah, make sure you've got the new app, log into it. If you still can't make your dining reservations, if you're working with a travel advisor, reach out to them. They can help you, or you'll have to call Princess directly, and then they'll be able to.
And I will say, on the new app, I have been completely unsuccessful in logging in using my username and password, but I have been successful logging in using my reservation number.
So there you go. And I've been able to log in using my username and password. So go figure, right? Right. Rick is joining the Cunard Queen Mary soon. I love it. I love it. Any tips? Make sure Cunard is kind of fun. They are the only cruise line I know that don't just have a dress code. They actually have like a whole little brochure there to show you how they recommend the dress. That would be the big thing to recommend. Is Cunard is still one of those cruise lines that does require certain dress for certain restaurants if you want to try them. So make sure you understand the dress code. Like if there is a restaurant you want to do, or there's an experience you want to do, double check that dress code, because they still do. They may require a tie, they may require a jacket for certain experiences, and if you didn't bring them, they're not going to let you in, and that would be terrible, right? So that is a big thing. They are probably the most proper about dress codes of all the cruise lines out there anymore.
Although there are plenty of options.
Oh, there's plenty of options
to not dress up if you choose not to.
Exactly. If you don't want to partake in all the dress up, yeah, absolutely, you don't have to. That's the biggest thing to understand, I think, with Cunard. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of. You know what a good tip would be? Gary Bembridge, Tips for Travelers. He has done a lot of Cunard, and Gary is a friend of the channel. He has been recommending Where's Walter Travel of late, and we're so honored. He recommends 2 travel agencies in the United States. If you want to work with a travel advisor, we're one of those 2. We're very honored that Gary's like the godfather of cruising, right? He has the most followers out there. He gives amazing information. Go check out his channel, Tips for Travelers. He's done a lot of Cunard cruises, and I know he's been on the Queen Mary. So I would go back and look at some of his vlogs about the Queen Mary, and he's going to give you like really specific information about your cabin, about the food, and all of that. So yeah, he's a great guy, and we're very honored that he has chosen to make us one of the 2 recommended travel advisors in the United States. So that's really cool. Carmen, I hope we were helpful there. Good luck. I hope you're going to get those reservations squared up. We're not your travel advisor, so we can't help you with that, but hopefully your travel advisor or Princess can get you all set. Mama Donna has 3 cruises booked after the change. Nice, after the dining change at Princess. So keep in mind, like what we just said, all of you, if you've made any dining reservations or dining setup in the main dining room at Princess, and your cruise is September 14th or later, your reservations either have been or will be canceled.
Or your cruise starts September 14th or later.
And so starting June
17th.
Yeah, starting June 17th, you'll be able to go back in and reset up your reservation for the main dining room. This had nothing to do with specialty dining, only the main dining room.
And nothing to do with suites or reserved dining.
Yeah. Let's see. Pretty TK, is there somewhere I can look before your cruise to see the activity so we can plan ahead? If you're talking about Virgin Voyages.
Yeah. Well, there is.
A little bit.
Generally, it just starts on the app.
Yeah.
There's, I want to say it's called entertainment or things to do. But on the app, there's a section. But generally, it only starts populating about the same time dining reservations open up. So about 45 days before your cruise.
And it will change a lot.
The main shows will probably stay more or less what they are the first time you look. But all the arts and crafts and all the classes, those can change even once you're on the cruise.
Yeah, so you're just gonna have to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
One of our favorite shows is Around the World in 80 Minutes with the Diva. It's a hilarious show. I think they changed it 4 times on a 4-night cruise when it was gonna happen. And so like while we were on the Scarlet Lady, they kept changing when it was gonna happen because we really wanted to see it because we had a different diva we'd never seen. We've had a woman named Carlos 3 times now, twice on Scarlet, once on Valiant, and then we were on Scarlet with a new diva, and they just kept moving it around, and we ended up not being able to see it. I really did want to see it on that ship. Man, I just saw somebody posted a picture in the KHM Travel on Virgin Voyages. My goodness, it looks like a 7-foot diva. I've never seen a diva this tall. She's got a picture next to her. Oh my goodness. So I don't know if she's the one that's going to be on Valiant in June, but holy crap, it's like the tallest diva I have seen out there. So, but yeah, so with Virgin Voyages, with the app, you'll start to kind of see it populate in, but be aware that except for like the Red Room shows, On the Rocks, a lot of that other stuff can change a lot, especially the arts and crafts, and especially stuff that's happening during the day in the Manor. So the Manor is their Studio 54. It's like a replica of the original Studio 54. It's actually really cool. So that does change a lot. Not like the other cruise lines where they pretty much have a fixed schedule for every single cruise. They do a lot of flexibility in their cruise. I think they modify it, 1, based on how many people are going to be on the ship, and 2, based on who's actually on the ship, like which of the happenings cast is on the ship, because they do change things out quite a bit. So, if there's one negative about Virgin, it's always the app, and it's the fact that you can't always make all of your plans in advance. You got to be real flexible on Virgin Voyages for sure. So, okay, folks, we've been doing this for 2 hours, so I do need to get ready for a meeting. Oh my goodness, I got a meeting in like 30 minutes, so I got to start getting ready. So all y'all over there on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if we're going to have a show this Thursday night because I am going to be in Fort Lauderdale at the Cruise 360 convention. It's going to be kind of a last minute thing, so keep an eye. I'll post it on TikTok, and I will post a little something on YouTube. So maybe I'll see you guys Thursday night. Definitely going to be back here next Sunday morning after a whole week. Oh man, we're going to have so much to talk about next week because I will be in Fort Lauderdale meeting with all the cruise lines this coming week. So we're going to have so much to talk about. So everybody over there on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Sunday.